All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing much better today than yesterday. Feeling pretty good. I actually slept well. My daughter's in town, which is always nice. So yeah, things are good.
Good, man. Yeah, I remember yesterday you wasn't feeling all that hot, man. Had a headache. Things were just not clicking. Showed in your trading a little bit, but you did very well, man. You came through. So, all right, friends, let's get to it. Let's look at our gappers list, and we'll hop over into our U.S. economic calendar. I see the SPY doing some stuff here, but our gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. You can see more green today in the screens as well. We had a great day yesterday. Tons of stocks doing very nice. That seems to be continuing unless the SPY at the moment with this drop decides to do otherwise. So Peter, the U.S. economic calendar, we see some movement on the SPY. What is the latest and greatest this morning?
Yeah, we can see we got the numbers already populated in there. The CPI numbers came out. So this is the big one that people were looking for. Following the PPI, the producer price index information yesterday, we now have the consumer price index. CPI numbers come out, and pretty boring, actually. They pretty much came out to target, which is good, I guess, that they're on target. And the jobless claims also a little confusing in this case, in that the initial jobless claims higher than expected by almost 30,000 jobless claims, but the continuing was lower. So really mixed data. You can see the market sort of popped up for a second and then dropped down, and it's dropping now. But not, I mean, frankly, this is not a huge move, but it might signal a little bit of weakness, especially as the SPY is getting back towards yesterday's close. So all in all, it's not the rock-solid economic data that the market wanted to see to influence the Fed and Powell to reduce the interest rates. That's really what this is all about at the end. Everybody wants to know, where are those interest rates going to go? And the market, of course, would like lower rates because that reduces the cost of borrowing, which is generally good for corporations. That being said, as we know, hasn't slowed the market at all, has it? The market just continues to chug along here, and a lot of things sitting near all-time highs. So as much as the market is looking for this data, it doesn't seem to care one way or the other. It's gonna move, and it's gonna hit some highs. So it's pretty amazing, in fact. The analysts, by the way, doesn't look like their opinion has changed. We're still sitting at 92% of analysts that think we'll get a quarter-point cut rate next Wednesday on the 17th, and the balance of the 8% think there'll be a half-point cut. So that's the same as it was 2 days ago, or roughly. Carlos, I mean, you know what? I still think the 17th, Wednesday, is going to be an interesting day. Our big economic data point, of course, is this Fed rate release and then the following press conference, as it usually is. But until that time, the market just keeps shrugging things off and, doing its thing. We had some good trading yesterday. I mean, there were some good opportunities. Not everything was moving well, but the opportunities are out there if you're patient and you're willing to look for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what today brings. Again, this market's just so resilient. So we'll see how the SPY develops in just a second here. Friends, if you forgot, today is 9/11. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on here in the city, New York, a lot of memorials and things like that. So, if you're remembering, we definitely did not forget. And it's just sad to see that all my new stuff is, instead of focusing on this, we're focusing on the killing that took place last night or yesterday in Utah. I mean, it's just insane. So unreal. But friends, yeah, let's take a quick moment to remember that, and then we'll hop over into what's going on with the SPY here. So just a moment of silence, then we'll continue with the show. All right, perfect. Thank you, guys. for being part of that. All right, Peter, let's jump right to it. Again, friends, tradingterminal.com has all the stuff you need as an active trader. You can head over there, and the first thing you want to look at this morning, at least I am going to, is this gap up list, right? So tons of stuff in here to, oh, hold on, where is it not showing properly? I know why. There he goes. Okay, it's my fault. Tons of stuff in the gap up this morning. We're going to dive into some of that. And then some of the stuff that was active yesterday, Peter, like Oracle, right? Oracle is probably going to be on my list again today. Is it going to give us a play like it did yesterday? Maybe not. But again, just the numbers they're putting up here are pretty impressive. And a lot of people did not think they were going to hold on to this gap up, and they are, at least for right now. They're holding on to it and not looking to let that go for the most part. So that's going to be on my list, and we'll see what else we can look at as well. Let's start here with SL. Go ahead, Peter. Yep.
It is pretty amazing, that move,
Yeah.
that they held on to it and are slightly higher from the close again today. That was a 30% move. And for a stock this size, I mean, literally they gained 240 roughly, $240 billion worth of market cap, and it puts them very close now to the $1 trillion market cap, a magic number, which very few companies have managed to get over. I mean, there have been a few now, but it's still a pretty impressive number to get to. So I think I don't know. I'd have to do the math, but they probably have to go up another $12, I think, to get to the $1 billion mark. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, they got a little bit of ways to go. But
Wow.
it's
Just
possible.
yeah, it's possible. It's possible. As more details came out yesterday, got a couple of really big deals in place for data centers, and a lot of just data stuff, and that's obviously driving this crazy move we're seeing here. All right, leading the gap list this morning is going to be SLXN. So let's see what this is about. We are up 170% almost. Looks like it's been pretty active this morning, but the fun may be over before we even get started here with this show. So it gapped up, moved up all the way to about right $30. Now we're back down towards 12 and just looking rather weak, hard to borrow with interactive brokers. I mean, I don't see anything I like on this one. We've seen a lot of really good low flowish type stocks trade very well this week. Seems like they're all just waking up and saying, "Hey, we want to be part of whatever's happening here." But this is not it.
No, this is the wrong industry, unfortunately, or at least the wrong business focus. It doesn't seem to matter what industry you're in. As long as you declare that you've got some sort of crypto or stable coin treasury strategy, then yeah, this has been the week for you because, like you said, Carlos, every day we've had weird stocks jump up from Octo. Anybody remember Octo? Right? No, we don't, because we've had too much excitement between now and then. And then, of course, we had the CWD, and we had, anyways, there was a bunch of them along the way here, and they all just kept
Yeah.
jumping up on the same news. So, but anyways, this one here that we're talking about, this SLXN, is an actual biotech, Selection Therapeutics, and they have positive trial data from a pancreatic cancer drug. So good news, but yeah, like you said, Carlos, while it's good news and they're holding some of the gains, I mean, I don't know. Like they were obviously at the initial release of the news, did manage to hit a high of almost $30. So I suppose there's lots of topside room if they choose to go there. But right now they're taking a breather. So it's not the type of thing that we typically watch here. We point them out to you in case you like them, but it's not the type of trade I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah. We'll leave this one alone for now. Do not like what I'm seeing here. The next one on the list is going to be Maze, Maze. So Maze Therapeutics is on here. We are up 52%, 324,000 shares traded. So not a whole lot of volume, but we are getting some movement here this morning. Again, doesn't look that interesting. 12 million shares flow, Peter. Gapping up this morning.
Yeah, two bits of news here. One, they've got an early stage, a phase 1 trial, a drug to treat something I can't pronounce, and kidney disease, chronic kidney disease. Something that's the acronym is PKU. So
Hmm.
I won't even try and say it. They also got $150 million worth of a private placement. So two bits of news here for Maze. Still, like you said, Carlos, not enough volume. If this is going to be really exciting, we need to see more than the 300,000 shares already traded.
Yeah, I agree. We'll leave it alone for now. Let's head on down to Open. It's next. Open. We've seen this ticker plenty of times. I think
Absolutely.
actually some people even mentioned it yesterday. We didn't get to look at it because we had so many other things that were looking a lot better. But right now, it got up 31%, 54 million shares traded. So man, this thing is in play. The action started last night. Looks like so right here after hours. Beautiful pop all the way from 560 to about 860, so almost a $3 move there. And today we're just kind of hanging out, seeing what's next. So Peter, daily looks good on this one also. If you look at the daily, has been trading very decent. Not sure about the intraday action on each and every one of these days, but it's in play today, man. You're gonna be watching this one?
I don't know. You're right. It's been in play a few times. It is sort of an odd company that skirts the boundaries of what is interesting from a trading perspective. I don't know. They've got some interesting news. The two co-founders have come back to the board of directors. They've hired a new CEO. Basically, they've managed to poach the chief operating officer from Shopify to come in and be their CEO. And it looks like investors are happy about those two moves. So, of course, their press release says that it's an incredible outcome for shareholders of Open Door. But I don't know, Carl. Maybe this is the type of thing I would sort of put on a secondary and allow it to be bumped by anything better that comes along. I mean, the volume is there. 55 million shares traded this morning, huge volume. But I I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, not
It's a
sure about
potential.
that. Yeah, not sure how was what is going to trade. So I'm with you. I'm not sure how that would be, but maybe a possible for now. We can always come back to it, remove it, add it, move it up, whatever you like. But let's put it as a possible. We'll come back to this one. All right, continuing here, friends. Next is going to be WLDS. Another low flow ticker. Yes, yeah, under a million shares traded here, up 30%, 12 million shares traded so far. Hard to borrow. Wearable devices had a decent day yesterday, and today trying to continue here, but struggling. Already hit 10.27 and back down at the moment. So, Peter, a little bit messy on the daily chart itself, but trying to be active today.
Yeah, wearable devices, like you said, looks like they got a private placement. This is a tough one because this is the type of company right now that sort of people are liking to boycott because it's out of Israel, and they are. I mean, they've got some interesting technology, but I'm surprised to see a gapping here because this private placement is pretty small. It's only $4 million. And I mean, this is a low float. I see less than a million shares in the float. It's only got a $5 million market cap. So while the placement is small at 4 million, it's big for the size of the company. But I wouldn't bet on this becoming, very active. Again, unless it just captures the news attention. See, the risk here, I said the reason why I mentioned the boycott because it just could capture people's attention about, you know, being the next target, and we could see this thing move a lot. However, if that happens and it drops, I noticed that it's hard to borrow, at least on my platform. So you can only trade it to the long side. It is up 30% on good volume, so it's just a weird. It's got a weird combination of effects that may work on it today. So not sure what to expect. Sort of like open. I might put this on a list just to watch and see if it does anything interesting. If not, I would dump it very quickly. Highly unlikely I would trade it though. I would just watch it out of interest. Oh, if you're
Open.
talking, you're in. There you go.
Oh, I was on mute. Yeah. Next to open, I'm going to add this one as well again. We'll just come back to them. I mean, there's some opportunities, but like you said, Peter, it's just risky. But again, we've seen some risky stuff. again do very well in this week.
We have.
STSS Sharp Technologies, we've seen this active in the past. You can see here
Yep.
in the daily end of last month, we saw some action on it. Today, up 18%. It is an ugly 18%. I mean, look at this pre-market action. Okay, after hours where we got the big pop here. They come back down a little bit, and we're not getting a whole lot in this pre-market session. So hard to bar to the downside. Also, again, the top list is led by low flow tickers, except for open. Everything else here is pretty low flow. This one being 1 million, so not looking great.
Um, uh, I don't even know what to do to do with this thing.
Talk to
Look, this is the news that the market has liked this week. They're partnering with a company in a strategic partnership to expand a Solana digital asset treasury. That's good. The company they're partnering with, a globally recognized Web3 brand called Pudgy Penguins. All right. So they're partnering with Pudgy Penguins, and I don't know what to do about that. It's just I've never heard of this company. Maybe I should have. Maybe it's very influential, but it's an amusing name. I'll give them that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
but anyways, I like how they it just it's hard to take the news article seriously when it's written like Pudgy Penguins has emerged as one of the most iconic and innovative brands in crypto, often called the internet's Mickey Mouse and Asia's Doge, with more than 220 billion content views, blah blah blah. But then they mention NASCAR, Walmart. Anyways, Pudgy Penguins continues to bridge blockchain innovation. I still have trouble taking them seriously.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. Again, careful with this one, guys. Low float. Won't be on my list. I already got two that I'm trying to see what's gonna happen there, and so I'll keep this one off for now. All right, what else we got? Trading terminal. Let's see here. CNCN. And what do we got going on there? This is all right. A regular ticker here, not a low float. We are up 12%, Peter, on Centene, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Corporation. 2.6 million shares traded. Pre-market looks interesting. I don't recall seeing this one before, this ticker, but some action this morning. Is this tradable today?
I don't know. I don't see any news on it. I'm just looking back here in history. Oh my God, July was a horrible month for them in terms of analysts. They have, in the month of July, I rarely see this. They had 12 downgrades. So maybe this is
Yeah,
just like a
wild.
longer term bounce back play after all the. I mean, and I guess that makes sense. I don't know what was
Look
the
at the
news in July
daily.
because
The
yeah,
daily
exactly.
definitely reflects
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, look, and being that all of these downgrades happen over the month of July, and this drop clearly happened right at the beginning, these are analysts, they were playing catch up. So no wonder everybody downgraded it, but the move had already happened. So this could just be a little bit of recovery. It's in an interesting place if on that daily because if we get up towards the lip of the gap there, right? That famous or infamous day for CNC, then there's a ton of room to the upside, but I don't see any news driving this, so I don't feel that that's likely.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm on the fence.
Yeah,
It's a lot
they're
of
all sort of
like ugly
like
stuff that
everything
can
today,
turn
Carlos, is
pretty.
sort of like, yeah, yeah, I
Like
don't know.
this would be would it be open? Would it be WLDS? Is it gonna be SLXN? Like all of these can one of them could trade very well. It's just but they're not looking pretty, man. So I'm not sure. All right, well I'll keep it all. We can always come back to it. But if you guys are watching and you see something great, let us know on CNCN and all these other lower flowish. Well, it's not a low flow stock, but other stocks are borderline interesting. All right, I'm gonna stop here, Peter. Anything you like off the gap up list this morning that we haven't covered yet?
I see Baba on the list. Um, Baba's an interesting one. They have. I'm surprised that they're gapping up this morning because they have decided they're going to raise money to expand their focus on AI, and they're issuing $3.2 billion worth of convertible notes. That's a pretty big offering. And usually when a company issues more debt, or I mean, they're trying to attract investment capital, but it becomes, I mean, I guess it doesn't become debt, it becomes cash infusion. But the fact that you issue more is dilutive to what's currently there. And usually that drives the stock down. In this case, they're gapping up a little bit despite this announcement of this massive $3.2 billion cash, fundraising, effort. Um, so I don't know. Maybe this will be in play today. I mean, so far the volume's pretty good. 2.4 million shares. It looks sort of cool on a daily chart. And is it actually at? It's not all-time highs, is it? Are we at all-time highs? No, no, not
Uh,
even close. Not even close. Not even close. All right. I just had to go back to 2021. Hey, I mean, it looks like it, right?
their
Until you hit that.
heydays. Yeah, yeah, oh yes. 320
So,
something. Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in any event, yeah, in the short term, it's at an interesting point. So there could be opportunity here, but yeah, maybe. So, anyways, that's what I saw on the gap up list. There's a couple of familiar tickers, BMNR. We know that that's been on our list off and on over the last couple of weeks. I mean, again, 2 million shares this morning looks okay, but not great. Like Carlos, it seems like everything's like eh. One that's on
Yeah.
there that might be worth talking about is Micron.
Yep.
My
Yep.
MU Micron has got some news this morning, and look at that, it's been moving up since the early hours. It looks like they got some upgrades on the anticipation that they're going to do some really good stuff on their earnings. Citibank basically boost their price target, and they had to increase their guidance a couple of weeks ago. Seems like Citibank is just getting around to doing something about it. So. Anyways,
Yep.
Citibank thinks that Micron can hit a price of $175 by the end of the year. And I don't know. I mean, Micron's not usually one of my favorite semis, right? Like, but it looks good this morning compared to what it normally looks like, and it looks good compared to its peers, frankly, because Nvidia and AMD look usual, normal for the like they do for this time without too much going on. So.
Yeah. Yep. Adding MU to the list, friends. I think this can trade very well today. Hopefully, I mean, we've seen many times we've seen MU do this pre-market. We'll add it to the list, and other tickers do better. Like an Nvidia will
Yep.
do better. Like a TS, even TSM would trade a little bit better, right? So MU has not been all that great. AMD will obviously can do well as well, but. Yeah, that's the thing. And when an MU does well, you got other ones that get more volume that trade a little bit better. So I like NVIDIA, I like AMD. I'm going to think about those when I'm looking at MU here. So I'm not going to add them to the list yet, but they will most likely be something we can check out.
And the
All right,
markets
let's, yeah.
are gapping up generally, right? So we know that
Mm-hmm.
they're moving higher
Yep.
this morning, which is good. So that means that most of the typical stuff we look at are gapping higher. So pick whatever you want. Tesla has been a good mover. Yesterday had some great moves. Interestingly, it sort of closed. It closed the day where it started, but there was a lot of action in between. If you just pull up a 5 minute chart for Tesla, you can sort of see how it sort of looked like it was going to gap down hard, which it sort of did at the open, but then made a big recovery and then doubled that move to the top side, hung around there for a few hours, dropped all the way back down. So yeah, some good, very active movement on Tesla. PLTR was another one that sort of similar in terms of its movement, and it gives opportunity. And then of course you got the rest of the only red one on the list here is well, Apple just went red, so just below yesterday's close. But anyways, we don't need to. We got on a whole phone rant yesterday, so well, not a rant.
Mm.
Carlos, what would you yesterday? We had a conversation about Apple phones.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I like that conversation. Yes,
A
yes.
conversation.
That's all we did. But yeah, friends, let's take a look here. What else we have? So that kind of covers our gap up list. Again, some other ones. I see Hims. Hims is one that again can trade well. It hasn't lately though. It kind of lost some of that Um, Great movement in Steam. It had about a month ago now. So again, don't see anything great there. All right, perfect, guys. Let's look at our gap down list this morning, starting with ZYBT. ZYBT. Ooh, this is down. Was up. It's ugly. Was up and then down. So it was up to 1757. Now back down to around $8. This is just messy. The dailies all over the place. This is Sengai Biotechnologies, 4.4 million shares traded. I'm sorry, 4.4 million shares float and 776,000 shares traded. So I don't like it. It looks ugly, man. I'm not going to spend no time on it, Peter. Any thoughts or anything you
No.
want to share on this one?
I I have no idea. There's nobody, no analysts are covering this. There's no news on it really. I have no idea why it's moving. So yeah, I tend to avoid things like that.
Yeah, yep. We'll leave it alone. Let's GameStop. GameStop coming back down to reality here, or
Yeah.
not reality, but just kind of where it belongs a little bit here. Down 2.6, 717,000 shares traded. The company that somehow still makes money. This company is going to survive forever. If they've been able to survive the digital era with retail locations, they're not going anywhere no time soon. I mean, this guy's just gonna it's just gonna survive. I mean, they got some kind of recipe. I don't know what it is, man, but they're still alive, Peter.
I don't know. They've got cash as a company. They again had surprisingly good quarterly earnings, which came out, which is why they were on our list the other day. I don't. I am not a fan of this, and the trading yesterday was not really that good. So,
Yeah.
this is not a good trading stock. And as a company, like you point out, I don't understand it. I like somebody said it's the cockroach of tickers. It just it does
It
seem to keep
can be
surviving.
killed. That's good.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
it can't be killed. But yeah, it's not tradable. I'm not even gonna. We've talked too much about it.
Yeah, it's what it is. So now having this one on the list, let's go to the next one. UPS is next on here. We only see this when they have either major news, earnings, or that's really it. Major news directly or earnings. Today they're down 2.2, 449 shares traded. I thought the earnings passed though. So what's driving them down this morning, Peter?
Let's see. Well, they did get a essentially a downgrade. Bank of America downgraded them to an underperform, thinking that they are not going to be able to hold their current price. They downgraded their price from previously they had it at $98. Now they think that they're going to top at 83, which they've now gapped just below. Other than that, I don't see any business news other than the analysts, opinions here. So, UPS is, I still, UPS is a tough business that they're running there because suddenly well, not suddenly, but over the last few years, they have significant co competition, and I don't think that their cost basis is one that can handle that. And if you just look at the daily chart, as a stock, I hope nobody has this in their long-term investment portfolio because, um, yeah, like it's just down and then it gaps down again and then it moves down and then it gaps down and then it moves and it gaps and it moves and it gaps. Like it's a look at this. That's a beautiful step function downwards, right? Like
Yeah.
it
Yep.
doesn't look like that there's
And it's been even higher.
yeah.
Now, my question is,
Yeah.
how is this happening? Because I mean, I look at my wife's purchasing of boxes and UPS showing up here. It's constant. So I mean, are we not buying stuff on Amazon? Like, why is it so bad, man?
I
Who else is
I
taking
think
their market
UPS
share?
just is yeah, they are and their market share is being lost to companies like Amazon that are doing it themselves, right? So or
Mm,
uses FedEx or others. So yeah, I think they're just using big contracts. Like I said, their cost basis isn't allowing them to compete with some of the other. It used to be they were the only game in town, and really
yeah,
now there's so much competition that they're just yeah not doing well. And I
gotcha.
mean, when I say their cost basis, like they've got things like they've got massive retirement funds, funding that they need to maintain, and the cost of their insurance and like all sorts of stuff. They're
Mm,
just
yeah,
plus,
yeah.
anyways, it's a tough,
Because they're
it's a
they're
tough
they're
business.
they're not cheap, man. I was there yesterday actually in UPS to ship a box that was like 16 by 5 by 3 point something. Weighed like 7 pounds, and it was $34 to go from here to Illinois. It's the cheapest way, no signature required, no nothing.
Oh.
$34. I'm like, not bad, but I don't mind. But yeah, it's that's expensive. So, but yeah, if you're losing big contracts, now I thought Amazon was prevented from doing their own shipping, a percentage of their own shipping. Like they were not allowed to do that, right? Like they didn't want to set up that monopoly, but I guess that went through. This was years ago now. They were trying to do their own
I
carrier business, and they were
If
getting
we're
held
gonna,
back.
yeah, I don't know. If we're gonna talk shipping, you just made me think of, you want to rant for a second.
Let's do it.
Shipping drives me crazy because it's one of those, as I get it as an individual, I am going to pay more than a corporation that's dealing in
Right.
massive volume and should be able to get a bulk discount. I still don't understand the math on this. Like you pointed out, Carlos, like I'll use your example. If you wanted to ship a box between where you are and Illinois, it's going to cost you 34 bucks or something
Yeah.
equivalent to that. However, I can order 5 items from Amazon that they will ship to me for free, and they won't even put them together. They ship them in
Right.
separate packages each time, and that costs nothing.
Yeah.
And the total cost of all those items is like I'm only paying, let's say I'm only paying like $3 an item, or like I've ordered like stupid stuff. I've ordered batteries, like CR2032 batteries. If you know those are little watch batteries, right? And they
Yep.
ship them to me, and it doesn't cost me a thing. Why does it cost me 34 bucks to ship a package? Like, shouldn't that be like equivalent of like $2? Like, I don't understand it. It's
Yeah.
just I get the volume, but the volume shouldn't be like a 8,000% markup. Anyways, never mind.
Yeah,
My
it
mind,
doesn't make sense. This is
minor
why
peeve.
Amazon I see as a giant logistics. They're not a retail company. They figure out logistics, and that's what's brought them their success, man. It's just incredible what they have done. Um, all right, friends. What else? UPS was the last one on the list from tradingterminal.com, friends. We went through all of these here. RNA's on here. Looks ugly. Bioscience in here. Avidity Bioscience. So down 20%, 238,000 shares traded. Doesn't look good at all. Pre-market's horrible. So we'll leave that one alone. So yeah, that is our gappers list. Peter, anything you like gapping down today?
No, not really. I mean, Apple is now green again. In fact, they made an excellent bounce off of yesterday's close, but I still think of it as a red stock. If you look at that daily, yeah, look at where it sits. This looks like something that if it can lose yesterday's close, we got some good levels down below there. So I'd actually be looking to see if Apple is weak at all, even though it's green at the moment. But most things are up, so. Yeah, I don't really have any gap down stocks. Although looks like my buddy AMD's red was green earlier, I thought. Anyways.
Yep. Apple doing some stuff, man. I like it. I'm gonna add it to the list as well. My list is very short today. I mean, only have MU
Mhm.
on here. I'm gonna add Apple. I thought I was gonna come off something good with this gappers list, but nothing here that I like. Baba. I know we talk about Baba. What did we decide on Baba? That's been gapping up, moving, but intraday hasn't really been great though. I
No,
think they had
hasn't
one
been
day
good.
where they did
No.
something exciting. Other than that, it's been very choppy. So nothing to see here. And then one you mentioned before I forget was POTR, which again, POTR can have its good and bad days. Yesterday the start was okay compared to other things, was not ideal. But yeah, maybe that could be a good one for us today. But before we do that, friends, let's go over to you guys, starting with our chat room. So you guys like POTR being mentioned by our good buddy Will. Yeah, I have it on here. I like the daily. The pre-market's not giving us a whole lot right now. Volume is a little bit lighter than what we normally see by this time. Yeah, I'll add it. I'll add a secondary. I can always move it up. I'm just not sold on anything today. So POTR, we'll put it on there. SNPS by Karthik. Let's take a look here. Up 6.2, 876,000. Oh, this was in play yesterday. Had the big drop. What was this again? We talked about it. I don't remember. I don't have my notes here. But yeah, the big drop. And I think you mentioned someone's getting fired and yesterday, but it didn't trade very well, did it? No, it's just not.
Synopsis. Yeah, we did talk about them. What was the news on these
Forgot the
guys?
news on why they dropped so much here.
It was
Um,
it was yesterday. Uh, I guess it was earnings. They had a very bad earnings quarter, if I remember.
yeah.
And
Okay.
yes, all right, yes, they
Yeah.
lowered their guidance. That was it. Yes, they missed their earnings and lowered their guidance, and that's why I couldn't find it. It wasn't. It actually happened yesterday morning, but their earnings were Tuesday night. So
Right. Look at that, James Jessup in the chat room. James Jessup used to be in our YouTube channel. Now
on
he's in
top.
chat. Good to see you, man. On there, so awesome. Let's take a look. What else, friends, you guys like? So we looked at that one. Baba, it's okay. I got it on my secondary. Scrolling up. Amazon. Did I add Amazon? Amazon was doing some stuff. Yeah, I guess we can add. No, it's pretty quiet right now. I'll leave it alone for now. We can always come back to it. So it doesn't look great at the moment. All right, let's go into our chat. Daniel. So yeah, it's just as you mentioned, Amazon. I'm looking at it now. I don't see anything explosive here, man. We got a nice drop from yesterday. Today, it's just coming back up a little bit, but nothing great yet. We could just keep an eye on it a little bit later. But it did trade very well. Yes, a nice, beautiful drop here, continuation. Did recover to the VWAP and then just kind of went flat. But yeah, nice open for them yesterday. So one we haven't seen. What happened to quantum stuff? We haven't talked about quantum in a while. Rigetti spaghetti. And probably the reason why it hasn't been doing all that much. But right now we're flat right now. Just really just flat as far as up or down. 500,000 shares traded. I don't see anything explosive here. So I don't see this in play unless it's some news that you're aware that might be breaking out here. It's really not in play at the moment. So I'll leave that one alone for now. MU is great. I have it on my list. Pre-market action is nice today. So hopefully it can trade well, right? So hopefully it can trade very nice here. You mentioned, Peter, a couple of upgrades today on some of the stuff they're looking to do. And yeah, so very nice today. CNC looks interesting. We were just looking at that, and after going through everything, the entire list, it looks very interesting because nothing else came off the scappers list that we enjoy. So yeah, CNC, do we add it to the secondary list? Absolutely. It is not a low flow stock, but just again, the way this is moving, you got to be very cautious with the number of shares. It's like Oracle yesterday, right? It's not a low flow stock clearly, but man, you have to be careful with the number of shares you're taking on this thing because we got, $5 move really quickly and easily. So you want to make your money here on the move, not on the number of size you're taking. So it's a couple of stocks that are like that you got to be very cautious with. All right, I think that's it for now. What about Intel, says Sam over on YouTube? Let's take a look. INTC, no. They get volume. Like this stock always gets volume. There are 4 million already, so the volume is not an issue for them. But they have nothing going on in this pre-market. Now the daily, I do see the daily is trying to wind up to something here, right? So we're just winding into trading into this point here. Maybe that can spark a nice breakout, but that can be next week for all we know. Who knows when that's going to happen, right? So with MU doing some stuff today, maybe that can kind of get their interest going here. But at the moment, not a whole lot. How about Carnival? You guys see the news on Carnival? What is their ticker? CLL?
CCL.
CCL. Yes, here it is. They're creating a package, Peter, for that does not include non-alcohol packages. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you could select whether you want to get the alcohol package or not. So they're introducing these non-alcohol packages, I guess, to make their tickets less expensive. But then when you're on the boat, you can't get any alcohol drinks. Which why would you be on a boat if that's taken out? I understand for me personally, but that's another topic for another day. So yeah, it looks like it's not really having an effect on their movement here.
No.
I guess people are still going to be buying the alcohol, so it doesn't help them buy more tickets. All right. let's let's go to our website, friends, bearbutraders.com, where you can always check what's happening here. Click on webinars so you can see what's taking place for the next 2 weeks. Today is Thursday, so we'll focus on there. And I saw Andrew message earlier that he actually made it to Nepal. Did he make it?
Did
I
he?
saw a message really early on YouTube. Yeah, and on YouTube he says, uh, he says, where it is? I'm in Nepal. I'm in the front line of a protest. I hope he's kidding about that, but he's over there. I think he made it. So, all right,
I don't know, man.
yeah,
It's sketchy times to be in Nepal, but
sketchy times. Yeah, yeah. All right, Peter, take us through
wow.
what's happening today.
And are you diving over or what's happening?
Yes, I got it. That's right. I got to go. Mike texted me really well. You told me that Mike texted me. I haven't even seen his text yet, but I have to stay with boot camp P Capital today. So I will. Let's see if John can log on. He's going to take my spot here, and then I will figure out. Peter, I could leave it on your screen actually. So yeah, this
Yeah.
could work. Yeah, yeah, this could work. All
Yeah,
right.
that's why I've threw my screen up there so you can. Why don't I start here with while you're prepping stuff in the background, guys? It
Yep.
is Thursday, which means we have mentorship sessions going on today. Starting during the day with Lenny at 11, his trend trading membership. We then have Jared who does options trading at noon, and then Thor with his very popular mentorship evening at 8 p.m. So 11, 12, and 8 p.m. all for our elite members, all in the webinar room. So hopefully you will be able to take advantage of those if you're an elite member. If you're not yet an elite member, then you have the opportunity to become one by going to bearbulletraders.com. Scroll down. You can find then the membership options. They're available to you right there. You can see the intro right through the Elite Annual. Pick the one that's right for you and test either kick the tires or jump right in and join us. It's a great value at any price, and you can then be part of this community, which and being part of any community is always very helpful in trading because it's a solitary activity. And not only do you get like-minded individuals, but here in our community, you get all sorts of great personalities and wonderful people. So why not be part of that? Um, in any event, we hope to see you here. If you're just out on YouTube, we love you too. And then give us a thumbs up. The likes help grow the channel, and we greatly appreciate it. And by Carlos's rumor, he still thinks I get paid for it. Haven't seen a dime yet, but oh well. One of these days, maybe. All right, guys. We do have a few things that we have. And actually, I don't often talk about IPOs. I try and keep an eye on the IPOs here every day. And today we have a potential for some good ones. The biggest one being FIGR, which is figure something. Anyways, technologies. It's a pretty big one at 700 and almost $790 million is the estimated value of the initial IPO here, which is a lot bigger. Most IPOs are sort of coming out with initial values of 10, 20, 40 maybe $1 million. This one at 780 is pretty big. So if this opens, it might be a good opportunity. So right now it's not doing anything as you could expect because it hasn't opened yet. But I'll keep an eye on it. I will let everybody in the chat room know if and when it opens. And if it opens while we're live here on YouTube, I'll let you guys know too, since I track these things. Haven't had a good IPO in a little while. There were some earlier, but not a really good like IPO right at the open that gets that big massive move. So we'll see what happens. Um, all right, I'm going to keep an eye on the market here and the indexes. I'm going to bring over what our moderators are watching so you guys can see that. Not a lot of our moderators have got their lists in yet. So this could be a little quick. Let's put it over here and I'll try and avoid the mirroring effect. So there you go. So what do we have? Well, Thor's going to be watching his. He's going to be watching. Let's see, Nvidia, Apple, and Amazon, as well as the futures contracts he normally does. Mike is going to be watching Apple, and of course, he always keeps his eye on the scanners every single day. I've got my usual watch list, right? Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR. I'll be watching AMD, Apple, and Open. I'm hoping Open moves today, but I'm not sure. Open. Then we got this WLDS that we talked about that I'll try and keep an eye on, and uh, Micron. But frankly, I'll just watch them out of interest. Very unlikely to trade them myself. Andrew does have his list, and wherever he is in the world, did he confirm? Is Andrew actually in Nepal? Andrew, maybe if you can hear me. Are you in Nepal? I'm curious to understand where you are. Anyways, but he's going to be watching Apple, Open, Oracle, Tesla, PLTR, and Nvidia. He is in Nepal, he says. Wow, look at that. And he has internet connection, which is impressive because my understanding, the original riots were sort of a lockdown of social media. So I'm glad that you have internet connectivity. I thought that might be something they would have cut off again. But in any event, and then Jared is going to be watching the market indices overall. Paris, and with his list, Paris had some great trading yesterday. He showed again why he loves Tesla so much, and he'll be trading Nvidia, Tesla, Micron, Oracle, and Baba today. I'm surprised not more of our moderators don't have Oracle on the list. I mean, again, I don't know if today is going to be a great moving day, but yesterday really surprised me. It moved a lot better than I would have thought. So, but maybe that's just my naivety. I just didn't think it was going to move because in the past it hasn't. So there you go. That's what our mods are watching. Whatever you choose to watch today, trade smart, not like I did yesterday. Don't go crazy. Take mature trades. I was just lucky that I ended up in the green yesterday, but today I'm hoping to find a couple of great trades that are going to give me opportunity. So we'll see where things go. All right, like I said, I should switch over my platform here so I can get ready for the live trading.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, if Andrew and Brian are going to be joining in the chat room, then go ahead, join anytime. We'll have to
Yeah, I
cut
can
off our stuff.
kill the sound there. So
Oh, you're still here.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
still here. I'm waiting for John to hop in, and then once he
All
comes
right.
in, then I'll head on over. But yeah, let me cut the sound for you now, so I can turn on my sound to the boot camp. So guys, trade safe, and I'll see you guys a little bit later.
Okay. Later, everyone in Bearable Trader Land. Okay, YouTube friends. Let's see what we can make of this day. Let's make it a beautiful, beautiful day. Uh, all right. So Oracle, I don't know if Oracle's going to be the thing. Micron has the interesting move here pre-market. Look at this. I like that much more. Let me get my headset on, and we can listen to Andrew. All right, just getting set up here. All right. All right, so switch over my platform, like I said. See my screensaver background, everybody? That's my inspirational background. Pictures of people winning. All right. And then I'll get all my lists set up so that we can get ready to live trade. I don't know well, I don't know. I don't have anything that like leaps out at me as a must trade for the open. I do have open for the open. Let's see. AMD, Apple, PLTR, Oracle. Yeah, I have to put Oracle over here. I'll keep an eye on Oracle with you guys. And it looks like this is the first day this week that we are not having any one of these crazy treasury stocks on our list. And these treasuries, they're driving me nuts because they keep they keep popping up. And I know that they're just most of them are not going to last, right? They're just flash in the pan things, but the way I worry about people's portfolios, right? And how they suck away their money and are going to get them stuck. It makes me nervous for everybody out there. I just watch right from the sidelines, so I don't personally have to worry, but Uh, it makes me nervous. Then of course Andrew goes and makes $50,000 off of it pre-market. It just reinforces the bad behavior. But I like it's not that there's not money to be made on it. It's just it's risky. It's risky. Um, What do you guys? You guys are good PLTR. You like PLTR this morning? Yeah, we'll see. PLTR is one of those sleepers, right? Every morning, it's like you never know if it's going to move or not. I don't. The Micron is a weird move here because I don't feel that it's the news on it is really strong enough to warrant this much of a pop. So, but maybe that's just my skepticism on Micron because it's let us down so many times, hasn't it? I mean, Micron is just one of those stocks that, for me, anyways, I keep putting on the list, and then it just keeps not trading very well. So, getting rid of all this. All right. Why is Open? Yeah, Open has they've brought back was it Open? Yeah, they brought back some of their co-founders to the board, and they stole they headhunted the COO from Shopify to be their new CEO. So got a promotion there, and presumably a big pay packet. You notice that when executives get new jobs, we often call them pay packages or pay packets. I used to deal with that, I guess, in my corporate life, right? You don't look for the salary, you look for the pay package. Because so much of what you get paid is bonuses and stock options, and it's really all the extras that it's the gravy that make the big difference. The salary is one thing, but it's the extras that make it sing. All right. UNH, Ibrahim. What are we looking at on UNH? I don't like UNH. UNH has a great way of sort of letting me down at the open. It looks what's the volume here this morning? It's trading, yeah, see, it's only trading 400,000 shares. Doesn't look all that great to me. Yeah, that's the thing with any one of these, right? Any one of these could be awesome when the market opens, but you got to sort of lay your bets. I'm feeling a little gun shy after yesterday, after my overactive trading yesterday morning. I'm gonna try not to be such a hothead today. I got 5 minutes to the open. You just heard my alarm go off. You trade the hourly chart. Okay. All right. This WLDS has calmed down over the last hour or so. The wilds are less wild. Wearable devices. Hmm. I keep forgetting I'm not. Let's see what we got here. Let me just link these so you guys can see what's changing as we go. As I look at different things, you guys can look at it too. Well, I'm going to try and at least trade with you guys, keep things interesting for you, but not be crazy about it. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Open. See, I don't really know where Open's going to go. If I look at the daily chart on Open, it looks like it should be positioning for a long. It's gapping up. It's up 30% on good volume. So, go back to the 1 minute chart. I would normally be looking for a pull down and then a pop up. The problem is it's gapping below the pre-market VWAP and it's sort of at this low consolidation area pre-market. So there's an area right here to keep an eye on. I would say this one, if we start to see strong movement back up towards $8, then I'd be looking at it for a long play. I know is already up 30%, but is this all-time highs? No. No, yeah, not even close. Not even close. This has been as high as $40. So, see what we got in here. What levels have we got? It's we got some levels here above the price on open. Yeah, I don't know where open's gonna go. We'll, we'll keep we'll keep an eye on it since you guys like it. CRCL. Robotrix, you're still watching CRCL? I admit I've got it over here in one of my charts that I watch. And it's I don't know, hasn't done enough interesting that I'm worried about it too much. All right, I'll put Baba on another chart here too, since a few of you are watching that, and we'll see what we get. My disappearing clock has disappeared. All right, a minute and a half till the market open. Nvidia is looking decent here. Look at this move. Pull pull back on Nvidia would be nice for maybe a run higher. We'll see if we can get that. Tesla not doing much right now. Open, unfortunately, is pulling back to that level I had marked, that 756 level. It's pulling back to it right now, which makes it makes it tougher for me for my strategies to figure out what to do right at the open on open. Uh, I didn't see any news on Nvidia. Nvidia's just doing its normal thing, isn't it? Uh, yeah. I mean, there's a secondary effect of course, all the enthusiasm with the extra spending on AI, right? Baba said they're investing. Of course, Oracle said they've got a huge backlog. That would imply that there's going to be chip purchases. Now, Baba wouldn't directly benefit NVIDIA's. Chinese companies are being pressured not to buy NVIDIA chips, but the growth of the segment is good news. We're about 5 seconds away from the open, so get ready, everyone. There's the bell. Let's see what we've got here. Big volume coming in. Open is dropping a little bit, and Nvidia's going to 180 right now. Keeping an eye here on open. Open's got a pretty balanced book here. Mhm. All right, I'm gonna have to move some of my charts around to see what's happening. Tesla is dropping. Apple is bouncing a bit. Uh, Nvidia. Thought I'd try just see if I can get on the momentum here. If open's going to move higher and take a trade long on open, see if we can get a push higher. Take advantage of this. It might not though. It might drop on me. I may lose here on open. I took a very, very small size so I can afford to just wait and see if this move reverses for me. Gonna add into open. Micron MU is moving higher. But MU here. Looks like I might have picked the wrong horse here on open. It's not wanting to move higher. Open. Open is moving lower on me. Add just a little bit more on open since I had a pretty small size. MU actually had a good move off the open. It's moving higher. Meanwhile, I'm sort of stuck here on this open trade. It's not really doing much. You guys can see how I've got in on this open trade, but it's not working the way I'd hoped. At least not so far. It hasn't stopped me out, but it also hasn't sort of popped up the way I was hoping. So I was hoping to get to a good $8 price. But I can't seem to get over this 770 price and hold it. So there we go. There we go. I could actually take some off on open. Now that I'm up, I'm green on it. Moving higher. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we're doing it. All right, I'm gonna take some more off. I'm gonna move my stop to break even here because I don't want to take much risk on this thing. In fact, I'm gonna move my stop up 2 cents. 770 is my break even price. Hoping for $8. Take some off at 8. So this open trade is working out for me, but it was pretty sketchy to get there. You guys can see I got into this at a relatively high price, and then I added because I got in with a small size, right, at the support level. And admittedly, I sort of chased this thing, but I'm sort of happy that I was able to make it work. AMD, you're saying, yeah, AMD popped up. Now it's back at VWAP. MU moved higher a little bit, but not by that much. See if we can this open. I'm worried that it's just going to come back and stop me out here. But there we go. I just got taken out on open. Wow, I didn't even see the price hit my stop 772. Somehow I got filled. I didn't even see it touch my price, to be honest. But okay, so I'm out of open. Uh and now watch open's gonna run. Oh well. I tried. I see you guys mentioning a couple of different things. MU did like it actually got a decent move off the open. I see you talking about CRCL. Oh yeah, there's another decent move off the open. Oh, see, there's the pop on open. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Open just had to stop me out before making the pop up there. I should have. Oh well. Look at that. I knew it was gonna, well, it had a good chance of doing that. I just got stopped out first. That first entry was not a good one. Oh well. All right. Well, that's a shame for me. It's a shame for me that I didn't get a little bit more on open. This ended up being a pretty small trade. But hey, green is green, right? So I won't complain too much. Now I just have to look for another opportunity. Yeah, Bob, I would agree. Open didn't feel safe. It was it did not feel safe. And it's just a shame if because of my first entry, right, it moved my average higher. If I'd taken the trade more where I was supposed to at that support level I had mapped out at 756, where you can see I added twice into the trade. That would have moved my average down, and I would have been able to hold through this pullback. But still, it's not a big move, right? So one way or the other, I'm not that disappointed. It's not like it popped up to $15, and I lost out on that. Meanwhile, other things are, not. So look at Nvidia is actually moving down now, down through some daily levels that I have mapped here. 718, sorry, 178.12. I've got a level I notice, and 177.87. So let's see what happens. Micron was still oops, a good move off the open here. Moved higher. Yeah, and look at open. See, open's right back here. So I'm pretty, again, I'm okay. I wish I'd got, partials above the pop, but I didn't. Let me okay. All right. What else you got? Baba is gross. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Baba is often gross. That's why, like, I was not enthusiastic about it. And look, this price action, yeah. See, warrants not paying attention to it. PLTR down a little bit here. If I'd watched this might have been a good short. Previous day close and VWAP coincided. Boy, that would have been a good short if I was watching it. I was not watching it. And Oracle, here finally, Oracle is dropping. Where's Oracle? Why don't I have Oracle here? Uh, Here, Oracle. Look at that. There were some better things to watch than Open, frankly. I should have. I should have. And my favorite. I like the short trades. And here I am trading Open to the long side, eh? Tesla's pretty not doing much. Tesla's pretty ugly here so far. I do regret missing PLTR. I mean, it's not a huge move, but still, this would have been a decent. Let me get in here. 50-cent stop. Yeah, would have got dollar 20. That would have worked. CRCL. Whoever pointed out CRCL, it is moving here this morning. Look at this. That's uh that's a good move on CRCL. Yeah, interested in UPS. So that's one I haven't looked at. Let's take a look at UPS. What's it doing right now? Um, I'm not at the moment interested. Look how the volumes already has gotten really, really flat. I do not like that volume on UPS. And UPS is a NYSE stock, so you really need to see the volume come in to warrant, making some decisions on it. So, bottom line, it's not trading enough volume for me to be interested. I see, Jillian, you're mentioning MU. MU is, yeah. Oh, yeah, look, it ended up being a good move on MU. You know, you could have got long and just held on. I am surprised. I didn't think it would end up moving that well. Right. Well, what else we got? Looking for some Carlos style trades now. Um, to the market here, market overall. What do we got? What's the orange line? Ah, good question. The orange line is the what's called the point of control. It's the price at which the most shares have traded based on the visualization of my chart. I don't know if you can see on YouTube, but there's a really faint lines over here. This shows the different volume bars. And I tend to, it's this study that's volume by price. And really what I've done is I've largely blanked out the bar. So if let me change the bar color here and let me make them a little darker and you'll see what happens. So now on the side you can see where the different volume bars, right, where volumes traded. So, and the orange line just highlights what they call the point of control or the largest line. Now, this is completely variable based on the visualization of the chart. You notice as the chart moves, that orange line moves, right? Because it'll move to whatever price is displayed. So it's like instead of vertical volume, it's horizontal volume. And you notice like MU, as it moved here from $149 up to 151, virtually almost no shares traded hands between here. You see a candle, but it's on almost no volume. You can see where the volume actually traded. So I use it. I don't really worry about the volume bars so much. That's why you see them blanked out. You can see this on my Qs chart actually as well, but I usually just keep the orange bar. So good question. Yeah, it's a idiosyncrasy, I guess, the way I display my charts. Let's see what MU does up here. Uh, I'm seeing a bounce on Tesla off of the previous day close. Still looks very choppy. CRCL though. Is anybody out there trading that? Look at this thing. It's having a good morning. Look at where most of the volume's traded. It's up here. That makes sense, right? Matches with the volume down at the bottom. AMD was a nice short. AMD would have been a tough short for me to get into. I do see it here. I mean, it looks sort of good in hindsight, but that pop up above the VWAP and then just this pattern where you would have got the most volume if you'd shorted it would have been a really hard one for me to get a short. So I don't regret missing that. Oracle still selling off. Got the market bouncing here a little bit. Micron's starting to do funny business, guys. If you're in this, careful. Look at that. Look at that wick. Did anybody see that? Did it actually trade volume down here? Doesn't look like it would have traded that much volume. I mean, there must be an order, but I'm tempted to trade MU short just to see if we can get a drop on it. But I don't know what Micron's likely to do, but oh, I can hear you, John. Hey, John. Good morning. I think well, I don't know. Guys on YouTube, can you hear John? He's here with me. Or do you think I'm just talking to myself? Which wouldn't be out of character. No, they can't hear you, John. Right. All right, guys. So John is going to see if he can find Carlos and get him to enable him here on the chat. I just took a small short on MU. See if we can get a move down to VWAP. I might get stuck on this. This is not my typical type of trade. Um, I just I want to see. It feels like Micron is good for a potential sell-off. Again, could be wrong on this. I might get caught in a pop. If I do, then so be it. I again took a small size, so I actually have the ability to add a little bit into this if I wanted. But we'll see. My entry's not that good on this. Oracle is way down here. All right. Mm. I don't like. I wanted Micron to move pretty much right away. The fact that it hasn't is not a good sign, right? That's not good for me. That's not. And means I might get caught in a pop here on Micron. I'm gonna add a little bit here and see if I can't get it to move back short. Oh, uh-oh, Andrew's going long. He thinks it's going higher, I think. So I might get stuck on this. Andrew's usually better at this than I am. So I'm gonna have to get out if it goes up above 154.50. We'll see what I can get on this. I'm still hoping for a move down to VWAP. All right, I did take a very small partial just because I was green on this and I don't trust it anymore. See if we can get this move here. Where's my break even? I'm gonna move my stop pretty aggressively here to break even, just so I don't have any risk on this Micron trade. But I'm hoping I get the move I'm looking for.
Why won't my camera do it? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we're getting a little bit of a move down here now on Micron.
Oh, duh. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gonna
I'll
take
leave. it.
another partial.
Okay. Okay. I'm leaving.
Here we go. Hey guys, I traded against Andrew and am winning. That always makes my day. So, all right. See what we again, I want this move to VWAP, so 152.50 area would be a good place for a partial. Come on, Micron. Give me the move. You let me know if you can hear John, guys, because I'm assuming you can't.
Can you hear me now, Peter?
Oh, I can hear you,
Well, you can hear you,
but
but can they hear me? I guess is the question.
yeah.
They
Yes.
can. Okay. I don't have a
Okay.
camera. The camera's on and it's
Yeah.
showing in the Zoom meeting, but I'm not coming through on YouTube. But
Right.
oh no, wait,
Welcome.
now I am there. I am on YouTube. The hell's going on?
There you go.
Oh, it's doing that thing where whoever talks gets it, maybe.
No, I think Carlos might have be in the background figuring it. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna take my a partial here on a Micron. So I am getting this short move. So this is working out. Uh, let's see here. Let me put it. So
I'm watching Tesla here, possible high day break. It's pulling back from a level here right now, which is the high from 2 days ago, but I'm just watching it around 351.
I'm gonna I'm gonna take another partial on MU. Andrew's adding into his long on MU, and I'm short. So this is always exciting for me when I'm going the opposite direction of Andrew on a trade, especially when I'm in the green. So uh, we'll see what happens. I mean, the funny thing is, we could both win on this, right? Because as you guys see, like I'm partialing because I'm just this was the move I was expecting to the VWAP. It could bounce here and go back up, and then Andrew would make some money. So, which wouldn't be a bad thing. But by the way, guys, in YouTube, I know some of you are talking about the simulator on a trading terminal. As you know, it's in beta, and it is whatever something's gone wrong this morning. It is not working as intended. Andrew said that the team is working on it. They're aware of it, and they're actively working to improve it. So apologies for that. Andrew's winning my target. So, well, my initial target was the VWAP, which we've already hit on this. After that, I'd be looking for 151. But I really my target was just this VWAP. So, let's see. Again, I'm happy. Well, uh, I'd rather if I could stay in this and have a bigger trade on it, Micron. But if I get stopped out at break even now, I'm happy. I'm just happy that it worked. And the SPY and the Qs are moving higher here. So if a Micron can be weak in the face of the SPY moving to all-time highs, then I've got a chance for this to go lower. Hmm. All right, let's see. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Micron. Uh, Mike, I see Mike in the chat room is trading Apple for it looked like a John style opening range breakup.
I just tried Tesla twice and it's not going. It's hard for me to call out my trades because sometimes they're so quick, like I'm in them for like 19 seconds that by the time I open my mouth, they're over again. So but I'm out
Yeah,
of that one. That didn't
no,
work.
that can happen. All right. So come on, MU. Let's go. Let's go lower. Andrew's absolutely convinced MU is going to bounce, and he could be right. But I'm holding on here, looking for a move lower.
Amazon's near its high of day here, crawled back up above back into to the green actually.
Right? See that? Just is it? Oh yes, it's in the green. There's the previous day close. Yeah. Uh, what else we got going on? This open, finally, guys, open is moving higher. It's a shame I couldn't have stayed in that because look at this. Now it's up at 860, but I tried, right? Not my typical type of trade, but I tried it. So I'm happy for that. Are you not entertained?
You tried a long on a crazy stock, Peter. I love it.
I did. I figured I'm alone here. I have to do something interesting.
Gotta play for the masses.
Trade for all my friends here, but anyways, I'm still hanging on to this Micron trade, by the way, sitting in it, just waiting for hopefully the move lower. Again, I wanted 151. Now, as I see this moving average, see this red line coming up, it's now above 151 at 151.04. So I will take a partial at that moving average if we manage to hit it. It's right about the same level that original spike, weird spike happened on Micron, which is why I'd set a target, by the way, of 151, right? Figuring it could potentially get down to that level. But the longer we hang out in this zone, the riskier it is for my drop. So Andrew's gone long again on Micron, thinking it is going to go higher for him. I don't, I don't know. I'm still short, so I don't like Andrew taking positions against me. He's done it twice now, but
He's salty because he's not in Nepal, so he's coming after you.
he isn't. Apparently, he is in Nepal now.
Oh, he made it there? No
That's
kidding.
what he said. He said he made it. Yeah.
He's just waiting for the revolution to die down just enough and the fires to go down just enough
I
to go in.
guess. So, like again, it feels very bold and risky to head into the rebellion
I would take a rain
and
check.
be there. So. All right, I did get a little bit of a move down on MU. I did not take a partial. I was tempted, but I did not take a partial there. Hopefully, I didn't rub myself of an opportunity. I said I want to get to that moving average, which is moving higher into this price action. So, you know what? I may just take that partial now. There you go. I took the partial. We hit the moving average. There you go. So, stuck to my rules. Put my stop back to break even. So, guys, can I just say, I think I deserve a thumbs up because Andrew just traded against me twice and lost twice. Ha ha ha. Of course, he still has the bigger bank account, so, you know, small victories, but, you know, this trade is working out for me. So, it's pretty awesome. Pretty thanks, Dan. Yeah, two trades that have worked out this morning. So, I'm back on track after yesterday when, by this time yesterday, I'd already taken 7 trades. Today, I'm only 2 deep. And unlike yesterday, when it was 7 trades and it was 3 winners and 4 losers, I'm 2 for 2 today. So, guys, if one thing I hope to prove to you, it's really overall you don't have to trade a lot. You just need to pick your spots. I'm trying to get a little more active at the open when I see opportunities I like and trade them maturely. You notice on both of these trades I've taken today, I didn't love the setups. They weren't perfect for me. So I took very small size. I added when I had an opportunity at a better price. But I was very quick to move a stop to break even and to exit in case it moves against me. That's how I protect my profitability over the long run. So by doing those types of things, right? When I am more confident in a trade, I'll go in full size and then it's win or lose, right? Put my stop at break even and let it ride. But like you saw on open and like you're seeing on Micron, I took a slightly different approach. So
Nvidia is down at a previous day close, which is also there's another level right on top of it. I think it's the pre-market low, so there might be some support there if somebody's looking
on what,
for
sorry, you looking at?
Nvidia.
NVIDIA. Let's flip over to that for everybody. Oh yeah,
The
previous
levels are
day
so
close.
close. I think it's the pre-market low in the PDC, but it's hard to see.
Yeah, it is. Previous day close, pre-market low. It's all right there.
It's all there, people.
It's all there. King of all levels. It's got support. So, and new user, you're going to tell on me to Andrew? You go ahead. It's I've and Andrew's probably listening. I think he's heard. So, I'm just not worthy of his attention, really. He's uh he's focusing on his own trades. And open just went over $9. So it's again sort of a shame I couldn't hold on to this. It came back to that exact point, right, where I happened to have my break even. Again, if I'd got more shares at my target entry, would have changed the complexion of that trade. But it's, hey, it is what it is, right? Like sometimes you make your decisions and you got to stick with it. This type of thing used to really, really bother me, right? The fact that I was in this trade, I got stopped out, and then it made a big run. Now, I'm much calmer about that. I'm able to say, you know what? There'll be another trade. I made my decision based on the information available at the time and based on how risky it was. I can't begrudge myself that call. So, all right. We got Apple actually moved a little bit higher here. So I know that this is one that Mike was trading in the chat room. I mentioned earlier. Didn't get a huge move on it, but hopefully that played out the way at least gave him some profit. We had John saying that he was trying to trade Tesla. Tesla's a little ugly today. It's definitely not looking like it wants to go anywhere, up or down.
There's a lot of ugly here today, Peter. Sometimes it takes a couple trades to realize how ugly it is, and
Yeah.
it's kind of ugly for me.
Yeah, I don't see many things that are doing, good high of day breaks. I mean, Open and
No,
CRCL are big moves up, but they're not the type of stocks that I think you would primarily have on your list. What
not
about Bubba?
yeah, yeah. It's like a secondary stock for me. What's that doing today? Yeah, it's going up. I haven't had a good trade on Baba in feels like many, many, many moons.
Yeah, I can understand.
Circle could be good. I'll set an alert on Circle.
Yeah, it's a little, I feel like it might be a little late on Circle. It's already had its fun, made its move.
There's all you need is one little desperate spurt above the high a day, Peter, to make your day. So we'll see. I'll tell you, a
All
stock
right.
that's up 10% often will want to be up 12% momentarily.
Okay.
Just got to find the
All right.
right little push.
Well, to hit the high of day now, it's got to go up another $3, which would be the 2%. So,
Like I made money on Oracle yesterday. That gapped up like
yeah.
32%.
Oh, yeah.
There shouldn't have been
Yeah.
any meat on the bone left on Oracle, but there was.
I was very surprised by that, I have to admit. But yeah, a lot of people got some good long trades on it, and including Carlos here with me. So, but
Yeah, it really depends on you kind of judge the news a little bit, like what is the stock and what's the news and what's it doing. And Oracle, man, would you agree with me, Peter, in the years we've been together trading? That's one of the most, I mean, among big companies having like a big day, that was really impressive.
it was. Yeah, and I was talking about that this morning. I agree with you because for a company that size, sort of a more of a traditional company, right? It's sort of like an IBM making a $30
Right.
move,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Like you don't expect companies like that to make these big moves and then hold them. Sometimes they'll, do it in pre-market, but then it sells off again. To make that move and hold it was actually pretty impressive.
yeah. That was weird. And it went to $1 trillion in market cap. I was wondering that.
It did momentarily. I calculated it earlier this morning. I think it's 352 is the price roughly it has to be at to be at the $1 trillion market cap. And I think it did touch on that yesterday, right? Or maybe not.
So this
I
morning,
see.
the workers at Oracle this morning are like sitting in their cubicles amongst the smell of champagne, like soaked into the coffee. But the
Maybe.
stocks come back down to 314. It's a
Uh,
bitter smell.
you thi- I'm willing to bet that it was maybe calmer than that. It is a German company after all, isn't it? Isn't Oracle?
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh no, that's SAP. SAP is the German one. Much more stoic. Oracle's the Larry Ellis, so I guess it's a U.S. company. So perhaps.
Okay, I am gonna say this one. I'm long on Tesla at 352 exactly, and so we're looking for this thing to
Well,
carry without coming back to 352. I would tell you the odds of it doing that are probably a bit low because 352 is also the pre-market high, and there's a good chance that before it gets to my target, it's going to want to come test that again. And I don't know how willing I am to let it retest near my entry. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a stop on Tesla, hard stop, right at my entry. I'm going to see if this thing will go cleanly.
and what are you looking for it to hit for you to take a partial on it?
I'd like to get above 354, like get up to 354.
354.
And if it comes into 354 with speed, to try to get something above that. If it comes in very slowly and hesitant, probably take some off below it.
Okay.
But I still need them. I need it to move another buck 30 here. So
Right.
the way I trade is I try to look for a high probability chance of it breaking so I can get my stop to break even. But what I would consider a much, much, much lower probability chance that it actually runs to the target. So I'm trying to find places where a trade offers me like what is almost like a risk-free entry, although it never is. But if I am patient and do it correctly and look for the best ones, then they tend to break nicely. Like Tesla's got all the good looking volume here and a nice pattern. It's a lot better than the two entries I took previously.
Mm. Guys, I'm still just sitting in the remaining size of this MU trade, the Micron. So you can see it came up. It came in, retested VWAP. It's now back below it. I've just held in there. I'm not doing anything. It's either going to stop me out or break to a new low below 150. And that's all I have to sit and wait for. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, John's got the more exciting move here. It's looking good. So cross your fingers and toes. Very good, buddy. Hmm. Oh,
I'll share my screen here, getting all confused about that screen. There we go.
oh, I thought I had more shares left on Micron. I just looked at my size. It's pretty sad. Okay, well, still move lower.
Here we go, Tesla. Here we go. And
There you go. There's your 354.
and selling 354.04, which isn't really that great considering, well, it got the 354.23. That's the way the cookie crumbles. There's a spread to be considered, which is about 8 cents right now, and then there's just the jittery nature of it. It'll work though.
Nice. So you can see, guys, his entry was right about here. Right? If I got that right, John. And
Yeah,
then he
there's a
just took
screen you can
a
share if you want to. I think
he
it's
just took
open.
a partial. I don't
Oh, that
I don't have access
doesn't
to
matter.
it.
What you have highlighted is exactly what happened.
Okay. There you go. Okay. So
The other tempting thing to do is try to get 355 because those $5 levels tend to be nice magnets the price tries to go to. But there's the deal, Peter. There's the constant psychological battle of just taking what you said you would go for and then looking for the next juicy target up above that.
right.
And that is what drives you crazy in day trading. We were
Why
talking
can't I
about
not?
this actually yesterday in Peter in our boot camp meeting,
Hmm.
and we're talking about targets and setting them and holding for them and things like that. And a lot of the people in the group were getting they're giving examples because boot camp just started. They're giving very singular examples of, but I had a stock do this the other day, and then someone else come in. I had a stock do this the other day, and I was, we're having a conversation about don't become fixated on what a single trade did. Like, don't let that
Right.
dominate your next decision. Like, try to think in
Right.
terms of like, what did the last 20 trades do, and what did the 20 trades do before
Right.
that? It's hard though.
That's it's hard, yes, because we do, especially when you're new, I would say, when you do this early, you do tend to like look at one trade at a time and you say, yeah, yeah, but look, and
Yeah.
like you say, right? We've been doing it for a while, it's easier to say, look, I've seen this 1,000 times,
You're right.
right? Like
Oh, that's what
it,
the conversation was. Yeah. So I showed them an NVIDIA trade where I'd got in and got out very quickly in about half a
right,
minute. And they were like, why did you get out of this trade? It ran so well. And I'm like, well, you got to understand, in the 30 seconds I was in it, it felt very bad all of a sudden. And I've done
right,
this thousands of times. And so I don't regret it. But I understand from your point of view, you're looking at this one trade, it looks terrible. It looks like you bailed
right.
on like an obvious winner, but you gotta develop that intuition and knowledge over many, 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 many trades. And recency bias is a real thing in day
Yeah,
trading, for sure.
yeah. It's hard to gain that perspective. Like, unfortunately, you pretty much, you quite literally have to take the thousands of trades.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
you
Tesla's
know, as,
moving well beyond my exit here, but I've had hundreds and hundreds of Tesla trades or thousands of other trades that have got to my target or near it and then gone all the way back down and you get nothing. I've been
right,
on the opposite end. So I'm not really going to cry about what it did above 354. I set my target. It's reasonable. It was reasonable and it was good profit. And then you take it and you move
right.
on.
And you got all out at that
I
target?
did. Yeah. I just got in and out.
Okay. Okay.
I've got off partialing for a bit here, Peter. I'm always a happier person when I don't partial.
All right.
If I had a therapist when I went in, they would ask the first question would be, are you partialing, John? How you doing? We talked about this. We said no partialing. I know.
That's funny. Well, nothing wrong with that. This is funny that I'm going to snip out. I can see John's chart here. Let's see if I can put this on the screen for you guys. So this is what John's trade actually looked like. Uh,
Oh yeah, I'll put on a
so
1 minute chart there.
but you can see he got in and got out pretty much right in those boxes that I drew. So, so that works. And if you want to see John's trade on a 1 minute chart, I'll bring that in. It's a pretty remedial way of showing it to you guys, so my apologies. We don't have full access to the technology with Carlos off in the other room, but there you go. So you can see
Get the
he's
Timo version
yeah,
today.
it's pretty good actually. I pretty much got the exact candles that you got in and
Yeah,
out
you
at.
did.
So
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about people. My strategy is pretty simple. So oftentimes Andrew's like, John said he made money on NVIDIA. I'll tell you exactly how he did it, even though I can't see his screen. He got into it.
yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like
Well,
it's
it helps people call out trades for me over in the Bearable Traders chat room. I have members call out trades for me all the time. Like, hey John, are you watching this? I'm like, no, I wasn't watching that at all. Well, it's near the high of day and it looks like
right.
your jam, so I'll go check it out. It's nice.
Yeah. See, it's
The
good to have a
simpler,
thousand pairs of eyes
it's
helping you
right.
out, right?
Keep it simple, and you have your friends help you out.
Yeah. Beautiful.
There's a lot of talk, and well, there's a few comments in the YouTube chat about partialing and how to do it. And I'll tell you guys, there are as many ways to take your money as there are grains of sand on the beach. Like you can take, there's different price levels to do it, different R values, and different percents you can take off. It's very hard thing to optimize over time. You will probably drive yourself crazy. You're better off optimizing your entry in a singular target kind of and just going for that or figuring out what a good average target is over your partials or something. But
Yeah.
you will drive yourself bonkers doing this game of like, what if at 1R I move my stop to break even, at 2R I'll take off 25%. Then if it goes to 2.5, I'm gonna, do this or that. It's a really hard problem to figure out.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it many times. Like, if you look at how most proprietary trading firms, when they're sort of bringing people in, they have different philosophies than the way we approach things because, they're risk managed, and what they'll do is they'll sacrifice a lot of earnings for that final push towards target, which means they'll enter like 10 times. They
Yeah.
enter, they add, they add, they add, they add, they add till they get to their maximum size when the stock starts to do what they expect with some ultimate target in mind, and then they usually just get all out at that whatever that target is, which is very different than the way most of us here tend to approach it. Andrew is the one that gets closest to that. If you watch him, you notice how he adds in several times. He's building a position, as they call it. So there's no right or wrong. It just depends on how you want to trade. I personally, like, I've got very fixed for my core trades, like the Mountain Pass. I've got very sort of fixed areas where I know exactly where I'm looking to partial, and that allows me to sort of manage to my plan much more effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no right answer like Peter said. Just to
Yeah.
figure out what you like.
So this Micron is not doing much for me, guys. It's sort of moving sideways. You can see I'm still sitting in this trade. I'm in a relatively good position where I should be able to survive a lot of chop. I hope the chop doesn't take all day, but if it does end up moving back down to the open price, that would be awesome. That's around 140, let's call it 148. Again, 150, which is not low of day, but a nice whole number is where I'd be looking to take another partial. But in the meantime, if it's going to stay in this range, I just leave my remaining shares and just let it do its thing.
Now, I'll tell you as a guy who watches Tesla every single day and many minutes of the day, up up here between 355 and 360, it could potentially get quite weird. It's had a lot of efforts to get through this area, and it hasn't done it. And you might expect some violent pullbacks up here trying to do what I did a few minutes ago. So I'm going to leave it alone for sure
Yeah,
because I've seen it do some crazy stuff up here above 355.
there you go. John knows Tesla quite well, so
Too well, too well.
yeah, listen to him on that. So, Smoothie Female, I love it. Welcome to Lambos and Garbage Trucks. Great to have you as part of the group. Love it. And I see Andrew. He's busy. He's now sending me messages. He says, I stopped him out on MU. Hey, you know what? Sometimes that happens. But arguably, well, no, in my defense, I was actually short before you went long the first time, and I just held it. So, so you came in after me. That's the way it goes. All right. Tesla. Tesla just hanging out here. Oracle was, and see, Oracle today did what I expected it to sort of do yesterday. Honestly, this is what I expected the chart after the opening bell to look like an Oracle yesterday, right? I thought it was actually going to sell off and then do this, settle down into a level and just consolidate. But, um, again, if I wish I had been watching Oracle maybe instead of Open because that was the better move, of course, as it turns out. Open did end up getting a move. We're still sitting over $9 now. And again, I did have that little long, got stopped out before the move. Ah, well, as I said, I'm not that upset about it, but it's wasn't as good of a mature trade, in my opinion, as Oracle would have been to the downside. So there
Tesla's
goes.
pushing the previous day high, another tough level there, up above 356. So be something to watch there.
Uh,
Strong
Tesla.
today. It's getting some nice moves.
Mm, yeah. All right. What else we got? 357 on Tesla now.
360 is going to be the real crazy number. That's the one that like it's really been toying with. And I'm sure I don't have Bookmap. I'm sure there's a billion shares sitting at 360 right now.
Well, on the level two, what can I see here? Yeah, I don't see all that many. I only see 12,000 shares, but we know that that's only part of the picture.
They may pile in too, like as it approaches, maybe
Yeah,
gets about 358. You'll see more coming at 360, but I'm sure it'll be quite the fat order there.
yeah, that would make sense.
Somebody asked if I use Bookmap, and I don't personally. Relatively speaking, the level two tells me the same thing, though not as accurately, like Peter said. But I don't have a good enough reason to add a monitor with it. That's the bigger problem. It's not maybe not the monthly payment. It's where does the monitor go?
Really? How many monitors do you have at your desk?
I only have
What do you
three,
use?
but I really don't have a
Three.
good way to put a fourth one. That's
Oh,
gonna be very nice.
I
It
see.
would bring many eye rolls from my wife. I know that.
Well, then you should show her my six monitor setup and say, "See, look, it's not. It could be worse."
Yeah. You're in your office. I'm in sort of a shared office slash room
Uh,
off the kitchen.
I see. All right. Well, guys, this is the sit and wait part of my trading day. We're almost an hour into the market. This is often where we get what I call the change of personality, change of direction. So the market clearly, at least the SPY moved higher today. The Qs, as you can see on my chart, didn't really go anywhere, did it? It's almost at the same price it opened at. So it's a little less enthusiastic.
Yeah,
But
these are new SPY all-time highs, but it's not as exciting to say that because it seems like every day. We don't haven't had a pull back and a new high that way, but it is.
yeah. Oh well. A new high, new all-time high. Oh wow. Uh, Chris, interpretation of the economic data. I mean, I think that it was sort of a mixed picture, wasn't it? Right? Because our jobs numbers were mixed. The short term, we had an increase in unemployment uh, jobless claims, and then we had a decrease in the long-term continuing jobless claims, which is a little mixed. And then the CPI data came in right on target. So bottom line, I think the market is saying it didn't change the picture. We're free to set a new high, which is what the SPY did. And the outlook as to whether the rate cut is going to happen hasn't changed. All right, most people, 92%, think that there's going to be a quarter point cut. So I think all in all, the market's interpreting the economic data from today as steady as she goes. That's my interpretation. Nothing to see here, guys. Keep smoke them if you got them. Just keep on keeping on. So, which is good for my trading, right? Because it means that stocks that I'm watching, they can probably make their moves without a lot of that nervous overhang, right? That overhead that may influence them. So Tesla now pushing up towards 358. Hasn't quite hit it. It came within 2 cents, but it looks like it can hit it. And we'll see if, as John predicted, yeah, slightly more shares showing up at 360. But I don't. This move is, I mean, Tesla's moving higher, but it doesn't look that enthusiastic to me. I can't tell you exactly why, but the price action is just looking a little like it would just need a good nudge to lose it and end up back at 352 very quickly. That's my feel, but I could be wrong. I'm not a Tesla expert. I heard that, John. All right. 2 million shares sitting at 360. Okay, so you must have Bookmap if you're seeing that. Yes, Smoothie Female saw that. You joined Lambos and Garbage Trucks. We appreciate that. Somebody asked, actually, I should post that. Somebody asked where, how you join. You join by hitting the join button right beside the Bearable Traders, right below this video on the bottom left-hand side of this video. Right, you got to click the button, and then you can join the Lambos and Garbage Trucks if you weren't finding it. Somebody sent me an email asking that question. I'll have to get back to them.
I love the name. Carlos come up with that.
He did.
It's like a mouthful, but it suddenly becomes so normal to hear that it's like now it's branded.
It is. It sounded very awkward to me at first. Now it feels more natural.
Yeah, it's rolling right off your tongue.
Yeah.
Lambos and GTs. Well, so Tesla offered a second high day break there after that pullback. I would not have guessed that'd work out so well, but there you go. Went right through yesterday's high.
All right. Still sitting waiting on my MU trade. It's back towards the low here, so it's looking good for maybe now breaking down. We'll see. I think Andrew and Brian are about to head over here and join us. That'll be awesome. We can hand it over to them. Hopefully Carlos is listening because he's going to have to do the switch over to enable their screens and stuff. But in the meantime,
So Peter, that 360 order on a Tesla's still not that big. It's surprising.
no. Oh, yeah, we were looking at that when you'd popped away. Andrew, is that you? Good. We need to check. Carlos is doing double duty. He's at trading live with our friends at Peak Capital Trading. So I need to make sure that on YouTube, can you guys hear Andrew
Hello, and me,
and Brian, of course. Yeah, Andrew and Brian.
and Brian.
Hopefully, you guys can hear them.
You can take. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
hear Brian? Yes. Okay. Apparently, they hear you.
Yep,
No. Well,
they
some
can
are
hear
saying
it. Yep.
Brian, yes, Andrew, no. Just Brian. Why could you?
Okay. Just
Bri-
just me.
why is did you join oh you joined differently, don't you? Yeah.
No, I just joined in vMix.
Yeah, I think Andrew dials in using the Zoom call, which means that Carlos
Oh
has to
yeah, I saw that.
set him up.
I saw that he was doing. Yeah, he was doing Zoom.
Peter, let me
Doing it on
tell
his
Carlos
screen.
real quick. I'll get him to add.
No, 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 that's okay. That's okay. You guys stay in YouTube and we're gonna stay in the chat room. Yeah, no, I think that's easier.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers,
Okay.
guys. Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, PLTR. I shorted that when it started to break
Now I don't know
down
what's
just
happening.
after 10 o'clock,
Yeah. Andrew was
and
here.
then
We could hear him. Now we got an echo.
I think he
I
said
think
he was
Carlos. I
going
think
back to
Carlos.
the.
Yeah, Carlos enabled him so that he'd set him up.
I think he said he
Yeah.
was going back to the chat room and that you guys were going to stay here.
That's what he said, but in the meantime, Carlos had made the switch over to put him on the screen. Uh-oh.
Okay. John, you must be loving Tesla today.
It's good, Brian, but by 3 o'clock, this thing could be back at 3:45. So it's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, man, it just man, if you played that this morning, just it bounced right off PDC, previous day close,
Yeah, it did.
and it didn't look back. Pierced the VWAP and then just started to follow that 9 EMA sloping trend sloping moving average all the way up to where it is right now, 360. Do we hit 360? I don't think we did quite.
No.
Not yet.
359.27.
Yeah. And we see some
I think
orders building
it
at
looks like
360, but
yeah, I think maybe it's gonna consolidate around here for a while, but I think it could be heading to 360. I mean, if you look at the daily chart, it's been as mentioned in the room, it looks like it's making an ascending pendant pattern. So looks like we're breaking up here. And 363, 364 is oh, geez. Okay.
so
Andrew's saying he wants me to come back to the chat room.
all
And
right.
I just okay.
So Limelight, I see Limelight, you're asking, can you just imitate our trades? Emphatically, absolutely not. No. Not only is there a delay on the YouTube, even if the delay is only a few seconds at best, but you would never be entering a trade with the same premise that we would be entering it. So, we advocate learning a strategy that you can implement yourself. Everything we do here is just for education purposes. We're not recommending you take the same trades as us or follow. We're just showing you our trades. For instance, I'm still in this trade on Micron, which is going well. Where's MU? Here it is. And riding it short, but not recommending that you follow us on any trade. Absolutely not. You should take your own. Hopefully, what we do is informative, but not meant to be a. We're not a sort of an alert system, right? That's telling you what to do. Yeah, Brett. Unfortunately, Carlos controls the screen, so we need Carlos to jump back and move the button. He's again trying to manage a bunch of streams of information. So I'll ping him here and see if I can't get him to flip the screens back. At least you can still hear me. Uh, all right, we'll see if Carlos is able to get my message and make a change here. So yeah. I mean, it's a good question. So, Limelight, don't get us wrong. Like, I understand what you're asking, especially when you're new. It'd be great to be able to follow somebody and then sort of learn from what they're doing. But we're not trading on that basis. And again, we don't recommend you follow anybody that says, I will give you the trades and you just take them because you don't know what they're telling you to do. You don't know why they're telling you to do it, right? And definitely don't want to put your money behind a situation where you don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. So, again, we're strong advocates of, take the time. It's a slower path to success, right, in the short term, but in the long term, it'll serve you much better because then you can make your own calls in all situations and you'll be able to focus on what it is you're looking to do, whether we're here or not. Uh, so,
Yeah, it's the time. The seconds matter, and I entered Tesla at 3:52. Is that what it was? Yeah. If I had called that out over a microphone and then over YouTube, by the time you might have react to the same thing, you're getting in at 3:52.35, and it matters a lot because it doesn't look like it on this trade. But if it had pulled back and I had to get out, like those 35 cents changed the entire risk reward setup. So you end up in a totally different trade, and basically you end up too high according to my strategy. It's no good. you could follow a swing trader or something. You could get ideas from somebody who's trading on a much slower time frame. But day trading's dangerous to try to mimic. Coin broke out very nicely.
All right. So guys, we're don't forget we've got it's a Thursday, which means that we have Thor as always coming on and I think with our mentorship sessions we have Dr. Charlin that's going to be joining him if I remember the schedule properly. So that'll be good.
Someone's asking in the chat about what are the thoughts on the max number of trades per day. There isn't a correct number necessarily, but
Yeah.
less tends to be better in trading. The more ways you can kind of restrict the number of entries you take is better to slow yourself down, make you be more picky and whatnot. And over in the boot camp that Peter and I are both a part of over in Peak Capital Trading, we teach a 5 trade max per day methodology, which not to say 5 is the exact number that's correct for everybody, but it seems to be a pretty happy at medium for
Yeah.
when you're dealing with dozens of traders. It's around 5 is probably about a good place to stop.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's an average, right? 5 is a good number because it gives you enough that you get the practice, but not so much that you're generally over trading. But there's a different number depending on your trade setup. For me, 5 is actually a fair number of trades. If you're sort of more of a scalper where you're looking for momentum-based opportunities, you could take 10 or 20 trades a day and it may not be over trading if they all meet your strategy. So that's the key part, right? As long as each trade you take meets your strategic goals and outlines, right? So we talk about this trade book is really where you document what is it I'm looking for, what are my entry signals, what are my targets, how do I approach the trade. Once you've written all that out, then you know what you're looking to try and do. If you can do that repeatably, then take as many trades as opportunities you're able to execute upon. So it's 2 trades a day, Brian. Again, it depends on your strategy, right? Like my average is like 3.5. Now, yesterday it was, I ended up with 8 trades on the day, which is huge for me. It's a lot more than I normally take. Today I've got 2 trades. You guys watched me take the 2 that I've taken, and they may be the only 2 I take today, and I'd be fine with that, right? Like that's it all depends on what opportunities I find. So they've got to match my strategies, like I said, and be ones that I can take advantage of and execute. John, you just yesterday I ran into one of those analogies for, averages are dangerous things to use. They said three economists went hunting, and the first economist, and they're sitting in the deer blind, and they're hunting with bows and arrows, and the first economist they see a deer. And the first economist shoots an arrow and misses 3 feet to the left. The second economist shoots an arrow and misses the deer 3 feet to the right. And the third economist jumps up, waving his arms in victory, and says, "Yeah, we got him."
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very true. Very true.
So there you go.
I'm glad my skepticism of averages has become implanted enough in people's minds they remember me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of averages in day trading, moving averages and average true range and things like that. And you have to remember them for what they are. They are averages. They're taking a lot of different numbers that have a spread on them and kind of squishing it all down to one thing. And sometimes they're useful and sometimes they're a little misleading.
Mm-hmm. It's always like, John, I always to think like the average U.S. family had, you know, 2.3 kids or something like that. And you're like, how does that make any sense? I don't know a single family with 2.3 kids.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen the image of the guy crossing the stream that says average depth 3 feet, and then he falls into a 12-foot hole because most of the stream is 1 foot deep. Then he gets to the part that's 12 feet
There,
and sinks down.
yeah, like there's all sorts of good reasons why you be careful of averages. Anyways, they can be generally useful, but yeah, it's dangerous to sort of base all your decision making on them, in our opinion, and that comes from our experience at trading, right? Mohammed, is there a way to build the pre-market list that you use to examine either FinViz or TradingView? Yes. I'm not sure I understand the question, but yeah, you could take our list and you could use all sorts of different tools to, find the data you want to build the list to then watch the list. I mean, we do it by looking at the news. We use the scanners. You can sort of take some of the base data we use and incorporate your own, or use different tools altogether. There's a myriad of ways to do it. So Oracle, what's Oracle doing? Uh, there you go. There's our here's John's picture on averages that he was talking about. There you go. That little sign, if you can't read it, says law of averages, average depth 3 feet, that he was talking about.
But it's true. That gets people sometimes in trading. Some people, I think beginner traders become a bit enamored with the easier things to understand, and average is fairly easy to understand. So a lot of traders are kind of pulled to this ATR thing, the average
Right.
true range. This is how much a stock can move in areas kind of would be expected to move. And so if you base like a short because the stock's at its ATR and you take it short, okay, maybe that comes into play on that particular day, or maybe it's the day where the stock breaks out a lot. You wouldn't want to base Oracle on its ATR yesterday.
That's a great point. Yeah, Oracle, even today, its ATR is $14, we'll say, and that would be using yesterday's data. So
Right.
prior to yesterday, it was probably half that, right? And yeah, if you assumed that's as far as it could go, you would have been sorely disappointed. All right, so Tesla is still hanging out here. See, now it's looking more like my type of mountain pass reversal trade. I maybe should have tried to take a short on this over 358.50. Still not sure that that would have worked. Mm. Oops. All right, guys, I'm still watching Micron, which is obviously the one trade that I'm in, watching Tesla to see what it does at this level. Um, Nvidia hanging around previous day close, so not looking all that exciting right now. Not doing much here. Some of the previous big movers, like Open, we were looking at, that did end up getting the move. Looks like it's calmed down a little. It's still moving higher, but at a slower pace. CRCL, similar story, right? Still moving higher, but at a slower pace. I'm actually very surprised at this CRCL that it's up as high as it is. Good move today on this, a $20 move on CRCL. So John could have taken this for a long if he'd been so inclined.
And the ATR on CRCL is $11, 11.60 or something like that. So based on the previous 14 days, but not today.
Right. Oh, So a couple moves. PLTR, on the other hand, ended up putting in a fairly weak morning here. A couple of retests of VWAP. That would have been actually a good short had I not been distracted by some other stuff. A little tough because it pushed through VWAP. I prefer if it hits this VWAP and then moves lower. But as we were just talking about, it is just an average. So, which means it's just a general area, general range. But anyways, PLTR is weak. What else we got that was moving today? We were watching Apple a little bit earlier. Let's see what Apple's up to right now. Not much. It had hit a high of day. It's now moving back towards VWAP. Pretty quiet. Baba, that was another one that we were looking at this morning. It moved to a high, pulled back to VWAP. Looks like this 150 is a nice whole number for Baba to just hang out at for a while. So we'll watch Tesla. I'll let you guys know if oh, Micron just got a big pop higher.
What's the news on MU, Peter? I missed it this morning.
On MU, what was the news this morning? They just got an upgrade. It was an analyst upgrade.
Wow.
So it's not the type of news I normally like to trade because it doesn't normally do much, but it was enough to move it.
Those are always interesting catalysts. Obviously, some analysts matter more than others. And that was from Citi.
Yeah. But you could tell I was skeptical. That's why I went short when I did on it, because thinking that it's not gonna hold those gains. But yeah, could be wrong. Uh, so all right, I just actually added into my short on Micron with after this pop up, hoping that it's going to drop back down again. My new break even is still well above the VWAP you can see here, but if I get stopped out, I added enough shares that it put me roughly where it had spiked here earlier. If it spikes back up there again, I'll be out. Hopefully we get a move down through 150 now. That's what I'm hoping for. But, oh, Tesla testing 360. Now the orders are coming in. 200, and I see 220,000 shares roughly sitting at 360. There's probably more. Well, there's always more behind the scenes on Tesla. So,
Wow, I get a different data feed than you do. I'm only seeing on DOS, I'm seeing like 13,000 shares.
oh no, I've got DOS. I've got an order on no NSDQ for 203,500 right now. No, 205,000. It keeps changing, of course.
Who's the
And
market
then
maker? NSDQ.
NSDQ, yeah.
I gotta call DOS about this because I get a different data feed than other people sometimes.
Because I see 13,000 shares. That's sitting on
ACB, right?
CHX.
Or CHX, yeah.
CHX. It's moving so fast. It's hard for me to
Oh, no,
see.
no. On mine, it's on ACB.
Oh, ACB. You're right. It is ACB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't see the other one.
Oh,
But oddly, I can see the NSDQ
well,
market
here,
maker.
let's
for other
Here, I'll put it on
prices.
the screen here so you can see if on mine anyways. It's of course popping around, hard to see, but you can see that order size sitting there.
Yeah, I don't have that. I've always been hesitant to ask DOS because I feel like they've never increased my price in 6 years, and I don't want to like let them on that maybe I'm getting a deal, sort of.
I hear you. I'm sort of the same way.
Occasionally this happens where I don't. It's usually the same as everyone else, but sometimes I'm missing it. I think I'll just be quiet.
Right. All right. So far, my ad on MU is working. It just popped down. Here we go. See MU. You can see where I added in and it moved right back down. Let's hope it goes lower, but who knows? All right. Meanwhile, Tesla still hasn't broken the 360. Came within 5 cents. Couldn't quite do it. It's Thursday. Feels like a Friday to me. My daughter took the train and got into town yesterday, so it makes it feel all weekendy to me. And
And
because
yeah,
my daughter's here, my wife's like, I don't want to go to work today, so she called in sick.
where did your daughter come in from?
She lives in London, Ontario, which is sort of let's say Detroit-ish,
Gotcha.
and U.S. equivalency. So 6.5 hours west of here by car. All right.
All right, this could be interesting at 360 here. Let's see what Tesla
Yeah,
does.
then over 360 now. Oh, look at the good pop over 360.
Yeah, 50 cents immediate pullback.
Gary in the chat room is just saying, I know Peter just shorted it, and he's right that I was thinking about it, to be honest. But that pop was like so big. Oh, look at that. It would have been a great short. Oh my God. Oh, oh, it would have been an awesome short. Look at that. Oh man. All right. So I missed the short, but that would have been great on Tesla. John, my finger wasn't fast enough on the trigger.
The problem is you have me with you, and I'm sort of the Tesla bull, so I'm probably throwing off your vibe. You need a fellow
I don't
Tesla
know.
hater in here.
I don't know about that. I'll still do it no matter what anyone else is doing out there. I'm not afraid to short a strong stock. So, but wow, that would have been a great short. Look at that.
Yeah, it
Would have got a buck on it immediately.
could
Just
definitely keep
immediately.
going. It might go back down to yesterday's high is a good target on that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that move. That would have been good to show you guys. That's one of my signature moves there. Big volume, spiked high. Just take the short. Uh, Open is dropping here. Meanwhile, my MU trade has actually moved back up against me. So, well, but it's still in a range here. All right, guys, we're getting close to the 11 o'clock hour. Don't forget to give the thumbs up if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate you all being here. As always, it's we got I didn't I mean there was no move. The Tesla was really just I think it got a little enthusiasm and went through 360, and then there wasn't a lot of buying to follow it up. So that is coming back here. And Micron is unfortunately back at VWAP. So I might not get my drop after all. We'll see what we get here. What does this say the VWAP is? 5197. Huh. Wow, Micron's trading on 500% RVol today. Huh. I didn't really notice that. All right, guys. I said, keeping an eye on my trade. I'm not going to hit any more buttons. I've added into Micron. It's working against me at the moment. It may come up and stop me out. If so, that trade will be over. I feel like I missed an opportunity on Tesla. In fact, I should write that down for my journaling. I missed a few opportunities today, but you can't catch them all. It's just the way it goes. And hopefully we'll get some opportunity later. Hopefully I'll be paying attention to get that opportunity later because I've got more family arriving momentarily, I'm told. So got to be ready for them.
What's the big occasion? Is it Thanksgiving?
No, it's not. Oh, guys, look. Hold on.
Your Thanksgiving always sneaks up on me, Peter.
I think I hear my guess. Hold on. Hey, buddy. Hey, how you doing? Hi. I know it's good to see you too. Hi. Yes. I'm very excited. There you go. There's the excited puppy. He's happy to be here. Yeah. You don't say. There you go. It's always good to have someone happy to see you, isn't it? Yeah. Good puppy. I'll be done here momentarily. Then we can play. All right. You can see my daughter's arrived with her dog. Looks like MU might be going against me, might be stopping me out. So that's too bad. And his name is Chunks. Chunks with a Z. There you go. So we got I think we should have Thor out there. Thor, you out there? There he is. Hey, having a decent day here. I got a couple of trades off the open, and I got into a trade, and then Andrew traded against me twice, and it went in my favor both times. So, haha, haha, haha. I know. That's always yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. So, in any event, it's all good. John, thanks so much for joining me here and helping me out. I appreciate that.
Yep, no problem, Peter.
And Thor, we're gonna hand off to you. Carlos, if you're out there, if you can switch over to the screens and get Thor set up. And Thor, you have a guest today? Is she here? It's just you? Okay, all right. Oh no. Oh, apparently you guys can't hear Thor. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So you guys can't hear Thor. I'll pinged here Carlos, see if he can get him set up. You can get going. I said Carlos is really distracted because he's over trading in the P Capital trading room. He's trying to manage lots of streams of activity. So don't worry, we'll get he'll he's getting them set up. Don't worry, you'll get Thor momentarily. You may feel a slight tingling, but he will. Coming. It's coming.
It's happening.
There. Oh, I see Thor on the screen.
Ah,
There.
eh,
I see you on the screen. Can you hear him yet? Oh, there's his screens too. All right, there you go. All right, Thor.
Beautiful.
It's all over to you, my friend. Thanks,
Excellent.
everybody. Trade
Let me
smart.
get my YouTube up here. I'm kind of getting logged in here and trying some stuff. I had a really, really nice opening. Hey, everybody out there in YouTube, I'm in. I can see you now. I hope everyone's having a great day. Let me minimize this. How do I make this bigger? Oh, wow, that's too big. Hello, hello. All right, so today is a kind of a weird day in the market for me personally. And so what I mean by that is the ES and the NQ were kind of deviated on their ranges. The NQ for me is a higher, wider range, where the ES is actually in kind of a higher, narrower range. Right. So I don't really have a play on the ES. So I focused in on the NQ today. And I got a really nice short from R4 at the open. So which I was really happy with. And I'm actually trying another short right now on it right here in this range again. So let me show you my first short. When I opened, my hotkeys were being really ridiculous again. I've had this happen a couple times with TV now. So we're starting to put a little bit of work into this into this thing to try and figure out if we can't get these hotkeys like cleaned up a little bit. So I had a little bit of trouble getting in, and I lost about 150 or 200 bucks in the midst of all of this tomfoolery in here. But I finally got shorted R4 correctly with the right stop, and I made about 1,500 on this full drop here. So my 4R target was here, but since we had a large bid here, I went ahead and locked in. So, and now I'm risking a couple of $100 of it again to see if I can catch the top of this range here. So if this goes out and stops, I'll just call it a day. One big winner and then one like loser. And then the hotkeys come with it. You just program them in, and they've been working pretty well. But lately, all of a sudden, it's just, I think the point values are a little wider. So it just hasn't really been working. So, I'll end up, if this loses, I'll still end up with about a K on the day. So it'll be a really nice day. I mean, a K a day is pretty sweet trade. So, but this should stay in this range. If it goes outside of it, then, we'll just consider it done. So we'll see what happens. So if this works, this could end up being a very lovely trade. If I get this moved down to here, I could probably put another, I could probably put 3 or 4K into the book or something like that. So we'll see what happens. It's a nice spot to try this, that's for sure. And I like that we found a seller here. I'm just a little worried right now that we're a little bullish and I might get we might U-tab this thing first, but this is the right spot. But like I said, I'll take one stop on this and then I'll call it a day, 50-50 on this. So my new setting that I have right now, a limit, does not have a neutral or similar attributes to it. So in the new version of Thor mode that's going to come out pretty soon, I'm removing that to give you just a cleaner, clearer version of the plays and calls. So like if once this goes above here, this will turn into no play and it won't call again for the rest of the day. So I've added a lot more rule criteria to make sure this follows my book as precisely as possible. So the reason why this really should not buy through this high. And if it does, this thing is just busted and I'm just going to stop trading, right? One winner, one really good winner, and then one loser. You know what I mean? One of the things we do worse as traders is once we have a winner and once we have a loser, we just kind of keep on going. You know what I mean? And we don't want to do that, right? So if that happens, we'll just turn this thing off. I'll stop trading and we'll just talk questions and stuff. Right. So also, I have a new indicator I'm working on for everybody. And I wanted to talk to everybody about my new indicator to see if y'all think it's pretty cool or not. And that is, I kind of had an idea. Oh, humorous. I got a short on NQ. R4 short all the way down to a full target. So I already had the good move. So I have a new indicator that I think is really going to hopefully help everybody. So, and one of the reasons I'm actually not super stoked about being short right now is because this indicator is actually showing that we're increasing our buying right now. So what this indicator is this is a it's a buy sell indicator. So basically, okay. How do I explain this? Right now, we're still selling. See, according to this indicator, see how all the numbers are negative? This means we're distributing more than we're selling more than we're buying right now, in theory. No, it's not like CVD, but it is kind of like CVD. Okay. All right. How do I explain this? I had an idea. Okay. And what this idea was, has anybody ever played, have you ever played blackjack? Does anybody in the room give me a hands up or like a 1 or something if you know how to card count in blackjack? So generically, most of you who know how to card count in blackjack, which I am not saying that I've been maybe requested to maybe like get away from a table, maybe, right? Because there was like maybe like a suspicion that I was like doing something, right? So basically, it's not really that complicated, but you basically assign face cards and numbered cards a +1 or -1 value. And then you can basically start to predict whether or not you're going to get a face card or a numbered card in the future, right? Because you get basically, once you know how, you can basically keep track of how many cards have come through the deck, what those cards are, right? And then you can kind of get an idea pretty good on like whether or not you're about to flip a face card or whether or not you're about to flip like a, a numbered card. So obviously if you've got 2 numbered cards, right, you can hit. And then if you hit a face card and the next one's going to be a numbered card, maybe you still hit again, right? So there's a lot of things like that. So anyway, so what this new indicator is, what I've done, me and my buddy Bruz have done is we've come together and we've programmed it's a volume-based heretical counting method that basically assigns a +1 or a -1 value with a multiplier to candles that move bigger with bigger volume or candles that move bigger with lesser volume. So we can actually kind of tell whether or not we are creating anomalies or not creating anomalies. And then we assign those values, right? So, and then we count them. And then so like right now, we're actually, according to this, we're actually distributing right now, right? So the user setting down here is our since 9:30, we have been selling more than we've been buying. The rolling is the past 10 bars, we've been selling more than we've been buying. And in this session, which is since the beginning of the day, we've been selling more than we've been buying. Right? So, but we're going up right now. Right? So it doesn't mean we always go down, right? It's just but notice when we go down much faster than when we go up. Right? So we're actually distributing right now. Even though we're going up, we move down way faster than we move up. Right? So this model would actually recommend shorting. Right? So, but right now we're still, you know, but this is full beta development right now. It's a brand new idea that we had that we're testing out. So I don't even know if it works or not, obviously. So, but it's kind of got some interesting ideas behind it. So anyway. Come here. Mm-mm. Okay. All right. So anyway, sorry, I had a so for those of you who don't know, I have some really fun things going on in my life, and one of them is I'm actually moving. Right? So if anybody didn't notice behind me, anything look different behind me right now? Nobody said anything. Right? So notice I've got boxes over here, and I've got you know, stuff over here. Nope, actually just moving down the road. I'm moving to Dubai, actually. No. I'm actually I needed a place that was really a better fit for me and my kids. So we're moving closer to my son's school. We're going to be moving closer to my son's school, and I got a condo, so it's a little bit it's actually a really big condo, but plenty of space for me and the kids. But anyway, so the text message I'm with is with my, you know, I'm working on a loan, and getting all of that closing stuff done, and then I have this going on, and I'm trying not to like not be here, right? Because you know I'm here every day, 11 to 12, you know, so I'm trying to, you know, make sure I'm still here and not missing very much time at work in here because I have a lot of responsibilities with my mentees and all of y'all. So I'm trying to make sure I don't, you know, have an issue there. So it's quite a thing. All right. So anyway, I'm like, so I'm just crazy busy right now with all of that stuff and trying to coordinate everything. I have to admit, a little overwhelmed. Um, you know, to be honest. Um, yeah, it's a lot going on. You know what I mean? You know, moving with the kids and trying to stay focused on trading and do all of that stuff. I don't know. It's wild. So, been in this place for 7 years. You know what I mean? And a lot's happened in the past 6 months. So it's pretty wild. Like, yeah, you know, it's been one of the most amazing. Let's look at AMD. Still buying on like everything else, man. 2,400 was the big number. We're now all over it. If a reversal is going to happen, it's going to be somewhere around here. We've run out of topside book. So it just doesn't look like we've got much topside left in it. AMD is really like been selling off. No, not at all. On the house. My ex doesn't live in Florida anymore. She took off and now lives in Phoenix, Arizona. So it's nothing to do with my ex. I haven't seen her in 6 months. Let's check out some books here. Man, NQ, rock and roll. I got out of that one. We just took the loss on that. It's good. So just a great day. Made a really nice day. Good money today. Real positive. We're not going to mess with it. So, so Ivan, can I make a funny statement on that real quick? I'm really happy. Like, I'm really happy. Like, my life is good. My life is great. My kids are great. I've got amazing people in my life. I've got yeah. I've got, I've met people in the past 6 months that have changed my life and have made me so happy. And my kids are just amazing, and trading is amazing. The stock market has helped me like find like really like the best version of me I think I've ever had. And it's just awesome. It's wild, it's a lot just going through it all. But I mean, I've never been happier. Like, this new place is like my dream place. Like, it is just spectacular. I'll once I get into it, because I don't want to jinx it, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But it's cool. But I mean, I have to admit, like, I've never been happier in my life. I am such a blessed freaking human being. Like, it is just crazy. Like, I have friends that I have, through this whole stuff, like, you find out like really who's important to you and who your friends are. And like, some of my friends, like my buddy Nathan here, stepped up like so big for me, really, like, I'm like, man, people really care about me. And then, and I've got some other stuff going on which I can never talk about, but I'm great. I mean, I'm really freaking happy. So yeah, it's just a lot to do. I'm in Florida. Hammer and Shield, I love that. Am I still doing music at all? Not right now, but I was thinking about it. I might do something. But not right now. I'm too busy. I got too much going on in all this market stuff. Ted Bay, I am on a dev version of the cams. So there is a possibility that you're gonna see some things a little bit differently. Because mine is slightly different. Mine short right there, bow. But it's a wider range, but it's a similar range. So look at ES rock and roll. Almost all the way to ATR high on ES. ES ended up being a really nice narrow range breakout. I mean, wow, right? It didn't call it because we didn't open in the right place. It needed to either open lower and come out and back, or it needed to open higher and come down. This one didn't have the right setup, but man, that looked really pretty. I'm hoping the new version will be released first thing next week, Scott. And when we say release it, I'm going to just push it, right? So you won't have to find new cams, right? You're just going to get an update indicator on your cams. You'll get one of these little update guys here, right? Oh, so you're in a lower narrow range on RTY. All of my indicators are shared on my Instagram. So go to Thor Young BBT. I wouldn't short RTY. It's too strong. Look at look at my indicator down here. This is my what did you call it? What is it? The hammer and shield or something like that? Right? So this is the this right now shows that since we've opened, we've been buying in extreme excess. Our rolling pattern right now has more volume on the buy side and better candle patterning on the buy side. And for an entire session for the whole day, we're buying. Right? So this ticker is actually very, very bullish today. Right? So in the settings. Right? Where maybe if you looked at something more like NQ, right? NQ actually looks like, even though we've been going up, NQ actually looks like, so this is one thing people don't understand sometimes. Sometimes you can sell and then crawl higher, sell and then crawl higher, sell, crawl higher. It makes longs a pain in the butt because you always get washed out, right? But so this is why it's like, so you can see right now on NQ, right now our rolling is actually green right now, right? So we've been buying recently more than we've been selling. So and we want this to all be, more red. Obviously, if we were going to sell since the session, we're still more red than green, but we've been buying a lot lately. So right now it looks more like we're buying. RTY, you may not have access to it, but right now, unfortunately, NQ is actually looking fairly strong. But I think we're about topped on this thing. How is Apple short this morning? Hasn't really set up. Apple's been chopping, but it might be short soon. Apple's order book is still pretty bullish. And there is more selling than buying hitting the book. But our overall session numbers have Apple as a buy right now. I mean, so the idea is eventually with this indicator is hopefully going to give you an idea if it's a better idea to buy or sell in the short term and long term. Right now our rolling, we're still kind of, we're a little flatter on the rolling session, but we're not like a clear sell either, because we had this large buy here that imbalanced with this large sell. AMD is doing something. So like AMD, look at the rolling average on AMD, right? Look how negative AMD is. So, and it's been selling like crazy. So it kind of fits. Like right now on AMD, it's a higher narrow range, right? So you would play outside on this one. So even I wouldn't play this. It's not a play, but this is actually more likely a short to the downside. Look at NVIDIA's numbers. NVIDIA's a sell. Look. So as see what I mean? Haha. See what I mean? Look how good this works. So NVIDIA, look, we sold. And as we pulled back, even as we pulled back, look, our rolling numbers still all stayed negative. Right? And it just reoffered. It went from the low. Look how long it took to crawl back up. Apple is selling. Apple's CVD is red because its volume is all on the sell side. Look, all your big dark candles are all red candles. Right? Apple is selling today. right? So this right here actually shows you, like, since we've opened, right, we've been selling much more than we've been buying, right? But right now in our rolling average, so just like the past 10 to 14 candles, we've been selling like a lot more than buying, right? First ghost candles. Now maybe the one of a very interesting new buying and so the more it's selling, the darker red this indicator turns, right? If it's balanced, it turns like gray, like it'll just turn black. And then as it turns green, it'll get brighter and brighter green. So see AMD, so this isn't a CVD indicator, right? AMD for me is selling. And AMD's short-term CVD is red. Actually, I have AMD's CVD as red. PLTR? PLTR I actually have right now is it's buying. But overall, it's been selling. So it's sold here. So you're probably going to re-offer somewhere around here. But right now, you're actually buying quite well on PLTR. My pleasure. Yes, the current boot camp has already started, BTC Heaven. I trade there live 3 days a week right now, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it has been awesome. What is RTY calling right now? An HF? It doesn't make any sense. All right, we'll reset that. Thor just wanted to thank you for everything at your mentorship, your indicators, jokes, life's advice. Oh, thanks, Humorous. You're amazing. You make me so happy. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'm so blessed to have, like, to be, like, a part of this trading community. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just amazing. Jim, Thor at bearbulltraders.com. Shoot me. I like it. You're in Nvidia right now, bud? What are you are you short Nvidia right now? It's so wild to see the Qs rallying while Nvidia just chops. Nvidia for me is so in a selling range right now. The problem is it's in a higher narrow range. Right? So the R4 short is a little less desirable on this one because the narrow of the range. Like when you're playing R4, you'd rather play outside. Right? So for this one, you know, it's going to be a hard fought battle to get this thing down just to ATR low. So unfortunately, there's a good chance Nvidia is just going to be highly choppy today. I'm not entirely sure on that, Ivan. I don't use TOS very much and I never trade with it. So I only use it for bookmap. And as soon as Atlas is available, I will likely not be using TOS anymore at all. Yeah, I can look at Google. I'm in the US. Is there a difference when trading? Thank you. I'm in the US. Is there a time difference when trading? Also, can I, since you're so BTC Heaven, I am in Florida. I am not based in Canada. Bear Bull Traders, or AKA Vancouver Traders, is based technically out of Canada, and they are West Coast, but many of us are East Coast, right? Like, for instance, Carlos is East Coast. Peter is like mid coast, right? He's in the middle. Dr. V is East Coast along with me, but Dr. V lives in Quebec City, where I live in St. Augustine, Florida, right? Jared is in Louisiana, right? So and John is in the middle of like the mountains somewhere. So I mean, Mike is West Coast US, I believe. So we're Eamon is, I don't know where he lives now. He was living in Yemen, right? So I mean, we've got we're an international crew in here. So yeah, I got a nice short, Anthony, on the Qs. In Q. So now, yeah, now, oh, he's in Russia now. So yeah, so there we go. So anyway, we're all over the place, so don't worry about it. Atlas is so right now, along with all the other stuff we're working on, Andrew and Nathan and myself and his development team, Andrews, are working on creating our own visual DOM. So depth of market, so you don't have to, we're trying to find something that has, to create something that has all the, all the items you need, but without the bloat, something that'll be faster. It'll hopefully be web-based, or it is going to be web-based. So you won't have to you can like run it on any type of device you want. And then we're hoping to keep the price point a little bit more reasonable, than Bookmap. So it's looking really, really cool so far. And we're supposed to have a dev version, hopefully by the end of the month, for some of us to start trading. So, but Nathan and I have specifically been working with Andrew, just telling him only the things we feel like you all need to get to your data, not all the add-ons and all the weird stuff and all of those, and just get into it. So it should be a lot of fun. I agree, less is more. What's your morning routine to pick your plays? Scott, this is going to be the fastest explanation of anything ever. I don't have one. I trade, I'm basically only a futures trader. So I trade ES, NQ, RTY, YM, CL, GC, PL, right? Like I play a couple of commodities, but mostly just indice futures, right? So I have 4 tickers I basically choose from, and then I have a scanner built through my system here, right? That automatically calls plays for me whenever they're in. It'll in my log here, it'll populate play calls for me. So I don't have anything to do. So when so let's say an alert happens, NT. As soon as an alert comes out, I really don't have much analyzation to do, right? That's kind of the whole point for the alert, right? It tells me when I'm in the right spot, right? So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm not really worried about the where, because the alert already tells me that. I'm not worried about the how, because that's already regimented, right? I know I'm going to get in somewhere in this range, and my stop's going to be 1R, and I'm going to go for a 4R target or so, right? So the question is it time? Right, so all of my analyzation before I get into a ticker is spent actually looking at it and deciding, are we accumulating? Are we distributing? Do I think we're buying? Do I think we're selling? So like that's, for instance, on this indicator, it's why I'm putting in kind of time starting to develop this indicator here for Google that you can see on Google, right? I'm starting to, work on a way to, so like right now, I would not long this ticker. I would be ready to short it. Actually, I mean, and so why would you short it? Because of this indicator here. It says that we're selling. Yeah, but we've been going up. I don't care. We're selling, right? Like just because we're going up doesn't mean we're buying. That means when you go up on low volume, that's called offering, right? If we don't have enough sellers to move us down, then the price is going to be lifted by the specialists until we find sellers, right? This is what they do. So, but you can notice every one of these candles as we've been moving up have all been wicky, truncated, very weak volume, low volume candles. And whenever there's big volume, it doesn't move the candle. So this for me is not a genuine long. I believe we're coming back up to previous day's close, maybe 2 days ago's close, maybe even as high as the open price, but we're going to come right up here and we're going to offer, and then we're going to sell from here down to maybe S3 or VWAP. And that sell from there to there is going to take about 5 or 10 minutes, where the sell from that same level all the way up to here took, you know, an hour or so, right? My new indicator, Scott, it's brand new, just on the board for the fresh out of the sandbox, as it will. Right. So it's not available for public consumption yet, unfortunately, because it is literally a brand new idea that I had on how to read buying versus selling. No one that I've ever kind of been around has ever has ever described this idea this way. It was like one of those. Can I be honest with you? I had the idea while I was jogging. So I had just watched the movie 21 3 nights ago. And while I was watching the movie 20, swear to God, right? God's honest truth. Right, I'm watching the movie 21 like 3 days ago before, and I know how to, and I like, you know, card counting and stuff like that. So it just brings back some memories, you know, because I've had some fun times card counting. And so we're watching the, you know, and I go out for a run. And as I'm running down the side of the thing, I always have great ideas when I run. I kind of get this runner's high going. My brain kind of frees itself up. ES looks like we're topping out here off of ATR high pretty good. So it's a narrow range. So we could target here back to R4. And as I'm running, I have this kind of this idea, and that's what turned into this here. So basically what's happened is it would be too complex to really like just properly explain. So basically, but what happens is every candle, I went through and I gave every single candle pattern a value, and it took a bit, right? So every candle, how far it moves in relation to specific candles and under certain amounts of volume get different values assigned to them. And it's like a +1, +2, +3. But then as candles move with varied volume, there's actually a multiplier that comes into place, right? So when we get big movements, these big movements actually get assigned more value under volume than big movements without volume, right? Isn't that fun? So basically, so what we're doing is we're actually spotting anomalies in price movement and then pairing them with volume and allowing that as an exponent, right? Thank you, Bruz. So Bruz, everybody, can we say thanks to Bruz? Because Bruz is the I don't know how this guy takes these weird ideas that I have and actually turns them into math stuff that actually works on a screen. But I mean, ES, for instance, we have been a straight buy on ES all morning. Right, and look at this indicator, straight green up the board all morning. Right. So just I haven't asked this of anyone in a while, but if you should happen to use the Camaria pivot plays by Bruz or any of the other indicators he's using, remember on the site there is a link where you can buy Bruz a coffee. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if you want to, it wouldn't hurt. So what we can look for now is, like, if you're thinking about buying or selling, what you would have seen at this when we pulled back to VWAP is we were running very green as we were pulling back to VWAP. So at that point we were a buy, not a sell. right? We bought off a VWAP, but broke through R4. I thought about longing here. And if I had, it would have been an incredible move to the top side and still supported by our you know, our indicator here. So now the rolling average only looks back about 10 candles or so, 10 to 14, I think. Is it 10, bros? I think it's 10 candles it's looking back. So it's reading these. So your rolling number will drop first, right? And that's kind of your short-term indicator. Like right now on the rolling, we're actually still buying compared to this time period here. 20 bar. Thank you, sir. So I wonder if can we do a I'm gonna do a 14. Yeah, I'm gonna try a 14 because that fits the 14 fits the whatchamacallit calculation. Oh, you know what I'm saying. User data is a defined time period, so you can actually go and you can actually define. So right now mine starts at 9:30. So at the open. So we've been buying since the open. So this is the short term, the rolling, and this is since the ticker started working. I do need a coffee, man. I'm tired. Man, I've got so much going on right now. I'm so stressed. Like good stress. You know what I mean? Like I'm good stressed. So now look how the rolling's dropping. See what I mean? So this is how you can tell we're losing momentum, right? Because our rolling is actually dropping. Isn't that neat? So hopefully we're going to clean it up a little bit, but eventually the idea will be to kind of, you know, I'm hoping you'll be able to use this to actually spot when we're buying, when we're selling versus when we're consolidating or rolling over. Right? So like your ideal entries will kind of come around these moments now, right? Because our rolling has started to flatten out. So, you know, this is where our reversals. This is where we're expecting reversals to really kick into gear. So like I would look to even see if there's a reoffer here. If we buy, I would want to see if like we bought here, it was strong. So if we buy here, if that volume stays light as we buy and our rolling continues to drop even as we buy, that would be what we're looking for. Groovy. So far, so good, man. I'm liking it. Was this inspired by your matchstick analysis? Yeah, so this is like inspired by like because I had talked about this in the BBT room a couple of times, this idea I had for counting bars and volume by assigning it a value. Just never been able to pull it off. So like look on Qs right now. We've gone negative on the rolling on Qs. So we've actually sold a little bit more than we've bought on the entire session, and now we've gone negative. This actually looks like we're starting to sell off. Look at our rolling is starting to increase now to the negative side. Aha! Look at that. Ah, look at that. That's fun. There's the volume. Look at that, bros. uh, now we can see the response, right? As we rally, we can see how much buying we bring on in relation, like, you know, and see this is. What do y'all think, people? Is this like, I mean, honestly, what channel are y'all coming to every day where you're constantly seeing like just new fun like ideas and stuff just coming all the time, right? Like between Andrew and Trading Terminal, like Bruz and myself, like working like we've got trading systems and cams and things to help you get in trades and stay in trades. I mean, it's a lot of cool stuff. You know what I mean? But this is like, I'm pretty stoked. Look how bearish AMD is right now. Hey, what did I say about AMD when we talked about it before, about being a short off of S4, not a bounce? Look at our rolling numbers. We're negative, right? I mean, just think about how like helpful it'll be if you're thinking about taking a long here, just to look at this and see this bright red number and say, you know what? Maybe this thing's just a sell today. Maybe there is no bounce. Maybe I should just stay short. Like this number right here would suggest staying short. No, it's brand new, Harmon. Like literally in beta today. I just stuck it on the screen for the first time today. It's a brand new indicator that Bruz and I are working on together. Based upon kind of this other wild idea I had about how to count volume and candle patterning, or candle movement versus volume, in order to get a really strong sense of short-term directional movement potential, like a buy sell indicator, basically. Like right now, this would just say, you know, eventually we may turn it into where the thing we don't want to do, which we have to worry about, right, is at first I was just going to call it like a buy sell indicator. And like right now, it would literally just have an S on it. Like it would just be a bright red S. That would tell you that it's a sell right now. Doesn't mean you go short or you sell. It just means it is a sell right now. Like our current market sentiment right now on this particular ticker is a sell, right? So if you were looking to bottom it, you wouldn't bottom it because right now the rolling volume insinuates we are still a hard sell. So I would expect a drop very soon. So not bounce, right? So if we're going to, you know, so because this indicator suggests that we're going to go down. So wild, right? So like I would expect to go down with this book and this indicator. I'd expect to crack and run to 154.70 very soon. So, but we'll see. So what you can see is this, you know, this can change if we find a buyer here and it buys up and really strongly engulfs, you'll see this rolling indicator change. So it's pretty cool. So, but right now, like if this buys, you're tempted to go long, but right now this isn't a buy. Even though it's making a new high right now, this isn't a buy. Right? In order for this to buy, you would actually want to see this rolling indicator turn green. So this would give you an idea that you have a pretty, let me put this more in the middle. Centre. Excellent. There we go. So like if you were going to long this, you would actually want this indicator, right, to actually change to be like a green on the rolling. So you would actually be waiting for a little while. So, so this will really help you time your entries too. Right? So like right now, like even if we're negative overall in the session, right? But right now we're still not along, right? We're less of a sell than we were, right? But what we want to do is we want to see this thing the rolling turn green, right? And then as we sell, we want to see the rolling stay neutral or green, not really not do that. Right. So, and if that works, then that's when we start looking for bottoming signals, is when our rolling. So you can wait for your rolling to get more neutral. So in the ideal places to maybe look for buying is when the rolling is between 10 and -10. It's right now, it's being called the buying/selling indicator, but it's completely in development. So it's not available yet. So don't go searching for it. I have no idea when I release it either, because obviously I don't just want to stick something on here. This is like a crazy idea I had on this thing. I still can't believe Bruz managed to turn it into an indicator. It's pretty crazy. What were you gonna say? Tesla you wanted to look at? I'm really interested in testing this. So I like looking at this should be very green. Look, very green. So Tesla was a buy today. We're rolling green on Tesla. So now what we're looking for a reversal. So right now the strongest volume is still on the buy side, right? So if you're really looking for a reversal, you'd actually want to see a strong sell indicator and then see it reoffer. But look how the rolling just dropped right there. So we're really dropping on our rolling volume, or our rolling at Oh, my pleasure, Tom G. So right here, this right here, this rolling, right? You want this, if you're going to start looking for reversals, you want this rolling to turn negative. You want to see it to get down near 0 and even start going negative. And then you'll have a pretty good feeling that you're not really you're at least not buying very well anymore. Right? So the rolling indicator, the lower you make the rolling indicator, the more sensitive it's going to be. Right? Like if you made your rolling indicator like a rolling indicator of 5, it would say you were selling right about there. But I'm running a 14 period look back because that's pretty standard for most calculations. And this, if you're calculating VWAP, you use 14 period. If you're, a lot of the ATR metrics are using 14-day look backs. 14 is kind of like one of those fun numbers that people like to use. So I'm trying the 14 because that's, so yeah, but it's pretty crazy, right? So let's check out Tesla here for the fun of this. So Tesla, look how Tesla's rolling is starting to drop. So I actually like how our rolling indicator is starting to drop down now till it's only 10 now. So we've gone from a very positive number to a fairly flat number. I also see more bid coming out on Tesla as well. So this is kind of the thing I would be looking for. We're also on a wider range. So playing back to the inside seems really reasonable. So if we wanted to try and see what happens with, this, you could really look at entering really anywhere in this range with your stop above high of day, right? Now we have our monthly R4 is way up here. So maybe it goes for there, but it kind of looks like our rolling is staying at 10 or less. So we're not finding buying now. So I like that our rolling is dropping, right, as we tried to move up. So we could go short in here and just run our high above stop of day. If it finds buying and then goes through high of day, well, we would just be wrong, right? We're already very extended from ATR high. I really like this idea. That's fun. Bouchon, the problem for me is it's not about how much time I spend on charts and stuff like that. It's just about how much time I think about trading. Like, because I mentor people, I really take it really seriously to try and understand as much about the market and how it works, how it ticks, and everything. This is TradingView. But I'm always trying to figure out how to solve the problems that my mentees and I are encountering, right? So, and the problems that we're often encountering, right, are things like right now, the biggest thing that faces my mentees, other than performance, obviously, is as actually just knowing if we're buying or if we're selling. Right. So right now we are still buying more than we are selling, right? Like our rolling number is still in the green. So if you want to take a reversal, you would want to wait for this rolling number to turn red. And that's what I'm kind of like hoping to provide for my Padawans, if you will, my mentees, is something like that. So the red levels or Camarilla pivot plays, they are linked on my profile. So if you go to Thor Young BBT on Instagram, you can get them right there. And look at that. See, now our rolling is back positive again. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm actually sending another 5 emails here in a little bit. So I managed to get through. I graduated about 4 or 5 people this month. Finally had one of my class, I run kind of in 3-month groups often. So I had 5 people actually graduate, all profitable, all doing well, just now in the move, starting to get their groove on and start scaling. So they don't need me to handhold them while we do that. So I moved them in. So I'm going to send some emails out for some new peeps. So here pretty soon. So if there's anybody on the wait list, that's, I'm unfortunately, anyone I'm emailing right now has been on my wait list for around 8 months. So it takes me a little bit longer too to find out if I've hooked them or not, because, I'll send an email and then the person doesn't reply for like 3 or 4 days later because it's been a long time. They thought I forgot. I didn't forget. I just couldn't keep doing it. You know what I mean? So if you go to my Instagram, there's a link on my Instagram profile to my private mentoring site where you can sign up. I know it's forever, but just know that when I get to you, you're going to get my undivided attention, right? So that's one of the things. AMD selling. So look at this. We pulled back up there. Look how our rolling stayed pretty flat, even though we pulled back up. Right now our rolling's dropping. So, all right, everybody, it is noon. I wanted to thank everybody again for coming out and hanging out with me today. Tomorrow, Friday, we're going to talk order book. We'll talk a little bit more about our new toys. But look at the rolling number changing, so you can tell we're starting to sell. So let's keep an eye on this thing. Could be a lot of fun. I hope everybody has a great rest of your trading day, and I will see you all on tomorrow. Much love, people.